a sec.
Yeah. Bobbit can't breathe. So.
Silver here. Hello, it is good to see my heart friends.
So, yeah, last session.
There's just Bob going, I wonder when my 10 years starts.
Yeah. So, last session, in your search for the Heart of the Wild, you traveled through a portal into the Feywild, and you spent what seemed like only a few hours traveling this bizarre realm. You saw some strange sights, made a bargain with an Eladrin of the Summer Court, which granted you some boons, but also granted you some rather annoying little character flaws. And then you found the great tree where the Heart of the Wild was supposed to lie, defeated some displacer beasts that had taken up residence there, and learned, to your horror, that the wizard Kolate had apparently removed the small circular-shaped object containing the essence of the Heart of the Wild from the tree and taken it elsewhere. And so, yep.
Regarding those displacer beasts, did anyone try and get parts from them?
No one did.
Literally, the second we finished the fight, that we pretty much checked the thing and then got teleported back.
Yeah, you didn't really have a chance. Yeah.
I thought we made our way.
Yeah. And so the power of the tree still imbued with magic, even with the loss of the Heart of the Wild, teleported you back to the material planes, sensing that you had nothing more to do in the Feywild. And your heart sinking. Upon returning, you notice the remnants of Messica's campfire from the night before, now having degraded into a fine powder. Some time has definitely passed, and it has been longer than a mere 6 hours. And so, steeling yourselves to face the worst, as you make your way out of the Temple of the Rising Sun, as you move through the elemental trial chambers back into the waterlogged cavern passage and begin to hike up the incline out into the cliff entrance. I'd like everyone to make a perception check, please.
Perception. Oh my god, I actually have something I can add to perception now. Is this perception just based on sight?
This is a listening one.
Oh good, I get advantage on that one.
Yes.
And never mind, I don't need the advantage, that's a 20 off the bat. Cool. It all goes down from here.
I got a 15.
15?
21 for me.
Yep. And so Lucian passes, so that is a group pass. So as you wade through the water and make your way up the incline, coming from the end of the cavern, out of the entrance in the jungle area, you hear a din of voices. You hear a high-pitched, older female's voice shouting, "No! This blasphemy! I do not care what you think lies inside! I will not allow you to simply enter the temple. It is a sacred place." Another voice, familiar male voice, says, "Please, please. My companions entered this temple a month ago and have not returned. Something must have happened to them. I need to enter immediately and try to determine what has happened to them." "No, no," says the female voice again. "It is blasphemy. The Obonashi clan will not allow anyone into the temple. Quite frankly, it astounds me that your companions were able to enter without our notice in the first place."
What?
A month? Wow, time dilation is fun.
The Obonashi clan's back protecting this place?
Wait,
They left.
when did they come back?
Exactly. Is there anything you would like to do, or would you just like to exit and reveal yourselves to the arguing people?
Zinhorn wants to, Master of the Wild, sneak his way towards it, like not wanting to be seen.
So, Zinhorn, you use your Mask of the Wild and you creep ahead of the rest of the party and find yourself in the mouth of the cave, peering out into the jungle. And there, you see Artus Climber, who is in a heated discussion with who must surely be the Obonashi clan. There is an older woman, perhaps 80 years old, hunched over, using a gnarled wooden staff to prop herself up, and beside her are 5 other members of the clan, each clad in white robes. They are silent as their leader and Artus continue to argue. "Please," says Artus. He kneels before the woman. "I am Artus Climber. I understand that as a wizard, we are not on the best of terms, but the people I sent here have not come back, and one of them is very important, not just to me, but to Cholt in general. Please, I beg of you."
Zinhorn thinks one of them.
I'm more concerned along the lines of, how did he know we were here? We never told him.
Well, it has perhaps been quite a while.
That dryad that we spoke to before we came in, she was the protector of this place in the absence of...
The Obonashi clan, indeed, yes.
Like, was she actually appointed that, or did she just take that mantle herself?
You don't know.
I don't think we asked. I think we were just trying to ease the access to the temple.
No, I was just asking in case she actually explained it, because I didn't have my notes.
No, fair.
How, like, is there any greenery where we're standing in the cave?
There's some small patches of moss and water plants around you.
I just need to look up the distance one of my spells has. 2 seconds. Speak with plants. I think it's 30 feet, but I'm not sure. Range area self. You imbue plants within 30 feet of you. Okay, so within 30 feet of me. Is the... I don't remember her name. Fuck.
The Dryad,
Yeah. Is the Dryad's tree within 30 feet of us?
It is, and her name is Neva.
Neva. That's right. I would like to cast Speak with Plants using my staff, which brings me down to 1 point left in my staff.
Yep. On the Dryad's tree?
It's all plants within 30 feet.
Yep. Immediately your head fills with a din of voices, all of the plants in the immediate vicinity whispering, discussing amongst themselves, speculating who this strange man is and what this argument is about.
I'm going to ask the plants closest to me, in a whisper, if Neva is still residing in this area.
The plants...
I know I've just given her tree sentience, but I don't want to exactly yell it out to it.
The plants whisper back that Neva the Dryad still resides in her tree, but has not shown herself in quite some time.
I relay this to the party and go, how are we going to deal with this? Because a lot of us are not welcome with this clan.
Messica just steps forward. She places her hand on the hilt of one of her Kolpesh swords, and she says, "We speak the truth. If they do not believe us, we shall show them our mettle."
That's all well and good, but they're well rested. Although
we do have proof that we were in there, like, still have the stone we used to get.
Yeah, the sounding stone.
I just don't want to provoke a fight with these people, as they will probably think that we have trespassed and desecrated sacred ground.
"Blasphemy! Blasphemy!" shouts Zasala. "What proof do you have that your companions even came this way?"
This I say we listen to.
Artus sighs, and he says, "Please, Lady Zasala, first, you yourself said that your clan felt a disturbance within the temple. That is what drew you back here. That is my companion. Something has happened to them. Furthermore, their transportation, their airship captained by Lady Bravewing waited for them for a 10-day, and they did not return. I only knew they were missing when the airship returned to Port Nianzuru and informed me that they had not emerged from the temple.
Man, they were not on us.
The crew of the airship saw them depart, saw them find the cliff entrance and enter the temple. So I have proof that they've been in there. They have not come out. Please, you do not understand the importance of these people, particularly one." "Well, who is that person?" barks Zasala. "If you tell us who they are, perhaps we will be swayed to help you." Artus says, "Alas, I cannot. If her identity is revealed, our mission will be in danger."
Is there a clear path to the Dryad's tree?
There may be, but you'll have to sneak.
Alright. So, I don't believe I went elemental form in the last fight.
No, you didn't.
So I'm going to wild shape into Jakuli.
Yep.
And make my way over to the Dryad's tree.
Yep, please.
Camouflage.
Yep, please make a stealth check with advantage.
As I see him moving, I will tap my staff on the ground and cast pass without trace.
Lovely.
Alright,
So plus 10.
17 plus 7 plus 10, so 34.
34. Okay, so you slither along the ground through the jungle undergrowth until you reach the Dryad Neva's tree. The voices are still... You can still hear the arguing voices, but they're a bit softer as they're now quite a distance away. What would you like to do?
Is there sort of like an opening where the Dryad will come from, or...?
She appears to just come out of the tree trunk. Would you like to just go up to the tree and try to wrap your tail on it or something to make her aware that you're here?
I want to sort of go to the most spot where I'm still really covered from the direction of the voices, and see if I can get the attention of the Dryad.
Yep. Okay, so I would like you to make a charisma check, please.
Thanks, Kay.
So, how did you do on your charisma check, Smithy?
15.
15. Okay. So, you approach the trunk of the tree and you rap on it with your tail. You slither along the base of the tree trunk, open your mouth and hiss at it, and the tree vibrates and the bark begins to waver, and then you see Neva the Dryad emerge from the tree trunk. And she looks around, and then she sees you on the ground, and she seems to know who you are. She smiles, and she says, "Oh, it's you, the Friends of Nature. Oh, you returned. Oh, but you're different somehow."
When she sort of says that, trying to remain hidden still is just going to come out from Draculi form and just... Yeah.
Yep. So you come out of Draculi form and stand before her as an elf. And she smiles. She says, oh, that is a relief. Oh, just as I remember you, the elf Zinhorn, friend of the friend of nature, but where are all your friends? You were gone for quite some time. Others arrived and began to argue about you, but I felt too scared to emerge. I didn't know where you were, and those voices were very loud.
Well, again, being nice and quiet about this, we've just returned from the Fae, hence why we were gone for so long. The rest of the group is in the cave trying to figure out what to do about this group of people here.
She looks over your shoulder where you could just see the Obonashi clan and Artis standing off in a clearing in heated debate, and she says, "Well, now that you're back, I feel perhaps that I have the bravery required to face them. I do recognize them. It is Osala and her Obonashi clan. They were always a little bit scary, but they are friends of nature, and now that you're here, if you'd like, I could step out and tell them what has happened. Perhaps I could stop them from doing anything to your friend over there."
Yes, if you make yourself known, I'm sure the rest of the group will be relieved that you are okay and come out of the cave.
She nods and glides across the undergrowth out into the clearing, and then the rest of you who are in the cave, you see Neva the Dryad emerge, and as she emerges, the Obonashi clan and Artis all turn to face her in unison. You hear Zoshala shout, "The Dryad! Why is the Dryad here? The Dryad should be guarding this temple in our stead." Artis takes a step back. He reaches for the staff slung over his shoulder, and he says, "What is this trickery? You're setting spirits of the jungle upon me?"
Bulb walks out.
Bulb walks out, and as you do, Artis turns and he sees you, and his eyes widen with shock and perhaps a bit of relief. Neva, the Dryad, glides forwards and says, "Please, please, don't fight. They did enter the temple, it is true, but they are friends of nature. I tested them. I gave them all 3 trials, and they passed." Sala turns around. She sees you all there, and you see her eyes narrow on her wrinkled, weathered face as she looks at each of you in turn. Then, silently, she sticks out her left hand and gestures for you to come and join her and Artis in the clearing.
Yep, I'll walk forward.
What do the rest of you do?
I mean, we're here now, so yes, Alessandra will join, but we'll stay closer to like the Dryad and Zinhorn and that.
Yep. So staying together, you all cautiously make your way out of the cliff face down into the clearing. Artus's eyes grow even wider as the rest of you emerge, and then he sees Alessander and places a hand on his chest, and you audibly hear him sigh, Oh, praise Ubtao. Messica sees him there, her eyes narrow. She looks back at him and they exchange some sort of furtive glance. He opens his mouth to say something, but Sasala steps forward. She taps her gnarled staff on the ground, looks towards you, and says, The Dryad has vouched for you. Why were you in the Temple of the Rising Sun? And why has it taken you so long to emerge?
Time dilation.
I was going to say, just see just Alessandra looking at the rest of them going, do you want to tell her or should we? Who wants to tell her?
Well, Sinhorn's still over near the Dryad's tree, so he hasn't fully emerged.
We went in to look for the Heart of the Wild to try and fix it. Then we got sucked into the Feywild. Well, it wasn't so much sucked as we jumped in.
Yeah, you went in blindly.
Yes. It was about 6 hours. What was 6 hours for us turned out to be... How long did you say we've been gone for?
Artus smiles and says, a month, Lady Alessander.
Oh, a month. Well, there you go. Oh, there you go. 6 hours equals a month. But,
He says, forgive me, you said you were in the Feywild.
Correct. Turns out deep at the heart of this lovely temple there was actually a portal which could only be activated with a peculiar stone that we'd been given on our travels.
Well, of course, says Zasala. The Heart of the Wild is a concentration of life energy from the Feywild. It is indeed the magic that Ubtao used to breathe life into the jungle. Why, in effect, the jungles of Cholt are born of the Feywild.
It's also gone, by the way. Thought you should probably know that.
Well, of course, she says. Why do you think my clan hasn't been here in a century? Quite honestly, I'm surprised that you thought you'd find anything there. The Daijobi Senga was stolen from the temple a century ago by the Nimbreeze wizard, Kolate.
Oh god, that would have been good to know.
Alessandra's just going to walk over to the nearest tree and just start headbutting it.
Artus steps forward and he says, So, our quest was for nothing. Zasala says, yes, perhaps, but you were able to enter the temple, you were able to enter the home of the Daijobi Senga and emerge unscathed and...
Unscathed is not the right word, but yes, close enough.
She bites her lip and is silent, obviously deep in thought, and then she looks around, looks at the other members of her clan, and in unison they nod towards her. She looks back at you and she says, well, perhaps not for nothing. You see, we happen to know where the Daijobi Senga is.
Oh, goddamn, we should have just dealt with these people from the beginning.
Why do people always tell people that people are scary? Like, come on.
Just again, another one of those conversations of course, after we find out, after we go through all the scary, horrible stuff, that, oh no, there was an easy solution this entire time that we completely missed.
And the people described as savages are actually quite civil.
I know!
One of the other Obonashi clan members steps forwards. He reaches up, pulls down his white hood, and underneath is a brown-skinned man with shoulder-length blonde hair, and he says, ordinarily, as an order of mage hunters, we would not entrust our cause to the likes of wielders of magic. However, as you have made your way through the temple and the Feywild, we shall consider that you have passed a trial and proven your worth and your drive to us.
I just remembered something.
Yep.
Did we find dead bodies of these guys at the other village?
I think you found one.
You didn't. You found
No, different clan, different clan.
The mage hunter
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, we found a different clan.
Okay.
Well, that was the Obonashi clan as well, but this is like an offshoot of that clan that specifically was supposed to watch over the temple.
Okay.
Okay, so we were right, but no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So Thala smiles and says, well, so be it then. Perhaps you did not come here for nothing. Consider the ordeal you've been through a trial to prove yourselves to myself and my order of mage hunters.
Well, hooray! What do we get?
Artus sighs and he says, oh, thank you for understanding. He says, now, this place that you'd like us to go, is it far away? Zasala says, it's quite a distance. He says, well then, we have an airship. Come, follow me, we shall head to it. Talk as we walk. Pip pip. Claps his hands together.
Before we head off, has anyone seen 2 giant sword spiders?
At this, Artus stops and he throws back his head in laughter. He says, wait till we get to the airship, my dear Archmage. Archdruid.
Oh, I am excited and nervous at the same time.
Swear to God, there's a freaking Soviet Union flag made of spiders' webs. This will make my day.
At this, Messica just rolls her eyes, and as you walk, she turns to you, Alessander, and says just low enough so you can hear, so it's true, Artus is alive.
Yes, I suppose we'll have to sit down and talk properly later.
She says, yes, once we are done with this Daijobi Senga business, I'll have many questions to ask him, don't you worry.
I suppose you probably have some questions for me as well, but I suppose we'll get to that on the ship.
All in good time, she says, and she walks ahead. As you walk...
As they all start disappearing, Xinhon just comes out of the bushes and just starts following.
I was going to say, as you just see, Alessander's ear twitching going, you coming, Xinhorn?
You coming, Xinhorn?
Before Bob turns away, he turns back to... Oh, fuck, what was her name?
Neve.
Neva.
Neva. Sorry, I went to say Nevi.
And in farewell, I go, may the sun shine on your tree.
Makes a curtsy, and she says, don't be a stranger, as she turns and drifts back into the jungle. And then you
we like just put some more flowers around the tree.
You hear someone shout, I'm coming, interspersed with a few words of Sylvan, and Xinhorn steps out of the foliage, creates a circle of flowers around Neva, and then hurries to join the rest. As you walk, Zasala pulls herself forwards using her gnarled staff like an oversized cane, and she explains where the Daijobi Senga is. The Nimbreeze wizard, Kolate, that stole the heart hid deep in the jungle while trying to pursue the hunters of my clan who pursued him. The Obonashi high priest, Roga, eventually found Kolate and tried to take the heart back from him. In the battle that ensued, Kolate released the corrupted power of the heart, causing a massive wave of destruction that killed them both. Since then, the heart has become a source of corruption and death in the jungle, taking the form of a giant tree of darkwood that towers over the jungle canopy. Its roots sink deep beneath the ground, corrupting the land around it. Those that venture within its depths become food for the tree's eternal hunger.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
My people and I have tried to reach the source of the corruption deep beneath this forsaken tree, but to no avail. We are just not powerful enough to make it through the caverns underneath. The best we can do is perform a ritual that freezes the writhing roots long enough for someone to enter the depths of the tree. We will need help from Artus and his Ring of Winter to perform the ritual and keep it active in order to protect those who wander within from instantly becoming food for the ancient tree. But if you are willing to enter the depths underneath the tree and search out the Daijobi Senga, then you'll be able to bring it out from under the tree, and we'll be able to purify it, and perhaps even restore it to its former state. If you help us, in return, my clan will commune with the spirit held within the Daijobi Senga to discover any knowledge we can obtain regarding the city of Mezro.
It would be nice to get some proper information on that front.
Ahead of you, Artist just says, well, that sounds like a good plan to me. What do you say, all?
Very warily looking at Artisan. Just not fully trusting.
At this, Messica steps forwards, and she says, Artis, a question. He stops, he turns and faces her, and he says, Indeed, Messica, and might I say, I had heard of your wanderings throughout the jungle, but I'm not sure I believed them. As with Alessander, my heart is full of relief that she raises a hand and she says, Save it. Why did you tell them that you hosted Zinhorn and his family in your suite when it was in fact mine?
Oh, this will be fun.
He looks at her, he raises an eyebrow, and he flinches, taken aback, and he says, What? I don't believe I said any such thing.
Zinhorn is going to... Let me just make sure I do it's right. As he's looking away, make a sensory, banging noise right behind him.
Yep. Like a...
No, like a druidcraft,
Yep. You make a banging noise behind him, and he turns and looks in the direction of the noise that to him echoed out of the jungle. What do you do?
Nothing, just because he's lying, because he did mention it, and so I'm just like, as soon as he says it, it's just like making the noise
him around the ears. Yeah, he jumps and startles. He reaches for his staff, and Messica looks at him and says, jumpy are we, Artis? Artis looks at her. He settles down and he laughs nervously. Well, okay, yes, I said that. The reason, well, I'm a bit embarrassed. He lowers his head, and Messica says, I don't care if you're embarrassed. I want you to tell me the truth right now, or, using the powers given to me by the chosen Barre, I will expel you from the service of Mezro.
Another bang right behind him.
He jumps looks around.
Yeah,
and then
I would highly recommend you answer correctly.
He wraps his arms around and he says, okay. I'm afraid. I feel ashamed that I have not served Mezro for all of the 200 years that I've been in Cholt. A considerable amount of time after I left Mezro was spent retrieving the Ring of Winter. I confess, it took quite some time to locate it, and then when I got back to Cholt, I was more concerned with pursuing giants, than actually researching ways to restore Mezro, or indeed keeping an eye on the situation of Cholt. Furthermore, I then heard that Messica had emerged from Mezro and had begun to search Cholt. I had no doubt that she was searching for me, and I was even more embarrassed. After a while, the whispers of her search died down, and I confess I believed her dead. And so I thought, given that Lady Alessander appeared to have no memory of Messica, it would be best to just say that you had say that Zinhorn had stayed at my suite to avoid mentioning Massacre altogether, so as not to send Alessander off on another wild goose chase when there are more important things to be done. He
So
laughed.
you felt lying to me was the best course of action, despite the fact that she's one of the few people I actively remember.
He laughed.
Zenon's gonna insight him, just...
Please do, because...
See his face blush red and turns to Alessander and he says, Lady Alessander, lying? It was more an omission. Lie by omission. I was not aware that you had any memory of Massacre at the time.
You never asked.
He says, well...
That also makes it worse.
He stops, he looks between Zinhorn, Bulb, Massacre, and Alessander, and he says, well, I'm sure you'll agree that restoring Mezro and clearing the jungles of Cholt of their corruption from the spell plague is far more important. I simply didn't wish for you to be held down by thoughts of someone else, that's all.
Zinhorn's going to be doing an insight check on this fella.
Go ahead, make an insight check.
That is a 17.
He seems genuinely embarrassed, but it doesn't look as if he's hiding anything sinister. Indeed, he was just trying to hide some information from Alessander because he didn't wish for her to be distracted.
So basically, he wasn't evil, he's just shit at his job.
Yeah.
How long exactly were you searching for this Ring of Winter?
He thinks and he says, well, if you take into account the time it took to ascertain that it was the Frost Giants who pillaged it, which particular clan of the Frost Giants and which Jarl they serve under, where they are, organizing passage across the ocean.
Numbers, artists.
He says,
how long?
40 years, give or take.
I look straight over to Massacre and go, does he look 40 years older to you?
She nods and she says, he does look indeed quite a bit older. He didn't have grey hair last time I saw him. You look over and you see his hair is indeed mostly grey, and at this he just blushes and he says, yes, you probably remember a more brilliant brown.
So you...
Another bang behind him.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's... So that crosses 40 years off, so then you spent the next, 160 years essentially hiding.
He says,
doing
Frost
virtually
Giants live a long
nothing.
time and they have long memories. I spent the better part of 100 years trying to evade them. In fact, they were still after me as recently as only a few months ago. He says, I did, of course, occasionally check up on the status of Rustness C and his fledgling Yuan Ti civilization in the city of Omu, but, well, with the giants after me, I did not intend to broadcast my location by using the Ring of Winter to interfere with his plans in any meaningful way.
Wonderful. So, nothing sinister, you're just terrible at what you were left to do.
Oh, well, as I said, I'm embarrassed. He hangs his head again.
So where is this ring now?
He holds out his hand, and you see the bright blue ring on his ring finger. He says, I keep it close by. In fact, if I were to take it off, I would instantly die of old age. The ring is all that sustains me now.
Don't tempt me.
That's not fair. Don't do that to me.
That's hand off. I didn't. That was out of character.
He says,
yeah, so was mine, because, goddammit, I actually really wanted that ring. I didn't think it was just gonna... I thank you for letting me know, though, outside of character, that it actually has that effect, because that was something I was curious about.
He
Damn it.
perhaps realizes what you're thinking, and then he says, I warn you, though, the Ring of Winter, well, it was a treasure of Mezro, but it was never wielded by any of the Barre, and there's a reason for that. The Ring of Winter has a mind of its own, and attuning to it means that you will share your very being with Ring of Winter. By attuning to it, you are giving more than you know to this ring. You must pay a large price to wield its powers. This is a price that a price that has taken me the better part of a century to learn to coexist with.
Well, that's... See her voice softened almost immediately. Go, well, that's fun. We're in a similar situation, except it only took us 2 years. So maybe we're either really good at our job, or you're just even more terrible than we thought. Tell me, what's the Ring of Winter like, though? Is it nice?
Just blushes and he says, "May you never have to know, Lady Alisander." And he just turns and starts walking ahead.
Oh no, come on, you can't leave us like that. Tell us.
Messica just rolls her eyes and groans, and she says, "He gets like this. He always was like this, old Artus. He'll always have to have the last word, and if he can't think of a good way to argue against what you're saying, he'll just clam up." With that, she walks after him.
Bobbitt's gonna learn about that ring.
Zasala sits there, and she's got a smile on her face, somewhat amused after overhearing this interrogation of Artus. Leaning against her staff, she says, "Well, Artus may not be quite up to snuff, but it is clear that you are. So, do you agree to venture underneath the Forsaken Tree for my clan to retrieve the Daijobi Senga?"
Someone's going to have to answer for Bobbitt. She's busy bugging the shit out of artists for more information.
I personally want to go to see if there's a way to reverse the curse on the tree.
But if we are doing this, you need to make sure that you give us all of the information we need to know in order to progress. None of this we'll find out later.
Yeah.
Oh, we would have been
tired
better
of being told later.
Eventually, you reach the airship in a clearing where the jungle foliage isn't as thick, and you see the airship hovering over a hill in the distance. And Bulb, you immediately see that the flag of the Kingdom of Helrua has been taken down off the flag post above the sails, and hanging in its place is an oddly shaped white flag flapping in the wind. And as you get closer, you realize it is a flag. It is not a flag at all, but rather a large cobweb with the webs weaved into the shape of a hammer and sickle.
Yes!
Yes!
Oh yes!
They have taken to it.
And as you approach the airship, you see Captain Bravewing peering over the side, her long red hair flowing in the wind. She sees you coming and she shouts, "See, I knew they were okay, Artus!" And then she disappears over the side of the ship as she runs to alert the crew. And then as the crew run to let down the rope ladder, you see two huge sword spiders scurry up the side of the airship from underneath the bow and begin weaving their silk to hold the rope ladder in place as it's slowly lowered down.
Oh my god, they have taken to helping amazingly. What are they expecting in return?
You scramble up the rope ladder, and usually where it's quite the arduous task as the wind buffets it and rocks it back to forth, this time it's held in place by the silk of the sword spiders. And so you manage to climb up in record time, scramble onto the deck of the airship, and then the crew pull the rope ladder up, and you see two front legs of the spiders waving at you from underneath the side of the airship, and then the two huge spiders scurry back onto the underside of the bow.
Ah, you're having fun.
Captain Bravewing smiles and she says, I'm not sure where those two spiders came from, but they came running out of the jungle, made their way up to the airship, and immediately got to work helping to repair some of the holes in the sails that we'd taken. She gestures up to some of the sails, and you can see huge cobwebs that have patched up some of the tattered portions and clumsily repaired bits of damage that were taken when you scuffled with the terrafolk on the way here.
Oh. Fair enough.
She looks over at you and she says, would this be your doing, Gartra Druid of the Animals?
That's actually
surprisingly no. It wasn't my doing this time.
Yeah.
Just looking at Bob.
It's actually my turn. I recruited them for the Druid Grove. I've had an idea to raise education about the wilds of Cholt. And they were my technically second recruits. But they were the first willing recruits, so...
She smiles and then she says, well, I never thought I'd say this, but I'm going to be sad to see them go. They've been incredibly friendly. Whenever we have to fly anywhere, they use their silk to adjust the sails and the rigging. They hold the rope ladder in place, and we don't even have to feed them. Indeed, they've been snatching birds and other flying creatures out of the clouds as we skim through the air.
Well, I actually plan on awakening them. Maybe you can work out some sort of deal. I believe they came with a couple of groups of their young, did they not? Or have they not shown themselves?
Indeed, she says. At this, she gestures over to one of the sails at the front, and she says, you see that rather large hole there that they weren't able to patch with their cobwebs? She calls out, we need the front sails intact! At this, you see the front sail begin to ripple, and then a large black splotch emerges from a pouch on the side of the sail and begins to spread across the canvas. And then you see what you realize is a group of hundreds of baby spiders, each connected end on end.
Missy! Sorry.
As they turn into a large black blanket that patches the hole in the sail.
We all dead yet?
Zasala just shrugs. She looks around and she says, well, I can't say I'm happy to be journeying on this strange contraption, but seeing how you've put the spiders to use makes me at ease. You respect nature, at the very least. She says, very well.
Sorry about that.
I will tell you where this tree is. She heads over to the map of Cholt that Captain Bravewing has laid out in front of the helm and marks the location of the forsaken tree. It is in the very center of the Cholton jungle, she says. This portion of the jungle is where the corruption is the strongest, and as we get closer, we will be in ever more danger of being attacked. Are your crew ready for that?
Holy crap, we literally walked around that.
Yeah, I know. And you did get an increased frequency of random encounters while you were there.
That is true.
Captain Bravewing looks around and she just shrugs, and then she looks at you and she says, my crew are capable Are you capable of defending us should we be attacked?
I believe we have proven ourselves capable of defense.
Well then, she says. She brushes her hands together. Anchors away!
As we
About
leave,
10 miles to the south. Quickly, if you please. The crew begins scurrying back and forth, adjusting the sails and the rigging as she places her hands on the helm and begins to spin the wheel in one swift motion. The airship begins to ascend, rising above the jungle canopy, and once again you find yourself surrounded by a blanket of milky white, pierced only by the tops of nearby mountains.
Before the captain gets too busy, Boba goes up to the captain, just goes, "Quick question about your ship. How sturdy is it against larger creatures?"
She just looks at you and she says, well, if you'll recall the state it was in when you first saw it. Then she just smiles.
So, T-Rexes are a bad thing then?
She says, dinosaurs are dragons. Don't let a dragon ram into it. And if we run into those terrafolk again, keep their javelins away from the side of the hull, at least until we can repair the damage.
Okay. Noted. Thank you.
And so the airship off. Yes, Bulb?
Sorry. How many days total is it going to take?
Going to take 1, 2, 3, 4 days.
Awesome. That's enough days that as long as we don't get into too many fights, I can awaken everything.
And you get a long rest as the airship sets off for the first day of travel. 1.
Hooray!
Or who'd like to do the encounter check at the end of the first day?
I will, seeing as no one else piped up.
I never do with these things.
18.
18? Okay. That's an encounter.
Dang it.
So, at the end of the first day passes pretty much uneventfully, the airship skimming over the sea of clouds as per usual, and by this time you've quite gotten used to the motion of it. You don't feel as nauseous as you usually do. Sometime in the late afternoon, just as the crew calls out that you're passing above the river Nyanzaru, you hear a great roar in the distance, and then one of the crew members shouts out a word that makes your blood run cold. Dragon at the fore!
Oh, you're fucking kidding me.
We're gonna die!
Battle stations! Shouts Captain Bravewing. I would like you to roll for initiative, please.
Ooh.
Oh, dear God!
Shit.
Oh, what have you done? Okay.
19, actually. I got 19 on my initiative.
22.
Fuck.
Zinhorn.
That
Dragon.
is a 24.
Oh, for God's sake!
Dragon, fuck off with that. There's
Yeah,
no
right.
fucking way.
The fact that we literally just mentioned what is it? I was asking for a completely different thing, and she mentioned dragon. It's like, nah, come on. You can't seriously throw a dragon at us, but nope, here we are. We've escaped the dungeon. We escaped the dungeon, and now there be dragons.
Exactly.
You be dragons.
Oh, son of a
Here
bitch.
we be fuck, yo.
Oh, and I didn't change up any of my spell. Oh, fuck.
You can change them up now if you like.
Hell.
Yeah, we did have a long rest.
Did you say we had a
Did have a
long
long
rest?
rest. Did have a
Yeah.
long rest.
It's
Okay.
so annoying because changing my spells mid-session is just going to be like...
So, what are your initiative?
19 for Bulb.
Yep, what did Zinhorn get?
24.
Okay, so Zinhorn, you're up first.
So, let me have a look. Oh, wrong tab. So, it's a green dragon.
A fairly young green dragon as you look at it.
Would Zinhorn have knowledge of green dragons?
You can make a nature check.
Okay, so my nature. That is a 13.
13. So you understand that green dragons are typically poison elemental. So you can expect to have poison breath.
Oh, that's good for.
The great
That's good for
green beast
High five for
comes-
Bobbits and
You hear
Keeper.
rustling from down below, and then you hear the snap of several trees as the huge green dragon spreads its wings and bursts through the jungle canopy, roaring as it flies towards the airship. So you're up. So you made your nature check. So yep, you may make that.
So step number 1, bonus action for shield.
Well, actually, you used your bonus action for your nature check. So
Okay, in that case, then main action to summon an air elemental.
air elemental, lovely. I'll grab the token for that. It's in here somewhere. I've got so many tokens.
A young adult. That's from Tome of Beasts, isn't it?
Monster Manual Expanded.
Yes, I thought so. I've used a blue one.
Yes. How would you like to summon the air elemental?
The air elemental, I'm going to have it come over to wrong thing over here.
Pops out on the bow, I think, of the ship.
Yeah, and then Zinhorn's going to run up along over near where the air elemental is, staying spread away around from people's.
Yep. Okay. Bulb, it is your turn.
No, Bobbit went before me.
Right,
She got a
Bob,
21.
it's your turn. Yeah.
And does the elemental get to?
Well, you summoned it. Yes, it does get a turn. So the air elemental flies off the ship. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It can't get any further than that, but...
Can it be more towards the front, like in line with the bow? So over here somewhere?
Oh, yeah, here, yep, it can, yep. Can't get any further, but it takes flight off the edge of the ship. It is the ship's turn. Bang! The cannons are fired at the oncoming dragon. And that is unfortunately a miss. You see a barrage of cannonballs sail past the dragon as it continues flying towards the ship. Bobbit, your turn.
Okay, quick question. I'm pretty sure I asked this the last time we had aerial combat. Can we use the ballistas by any chance?
You can.
And no, you didn't ask that because I would have gone and done
you didn't ask that, but you can use them.
I could have sworn I did. Okay, maybe I missed that. Well, Bobbit's gonna just pull her goggles on because it's windy and we're fighting stuff, and Bobbit's gonna try a hand at this ballista because she's been tempted to use this thing since we got on the damn ship.
Yep. So you rush up to the nearby ballista, push away the crew member who's manning it, and
Bobbit's turn.
grab hold of the controls. Okay, so to roll an attack, it counts as a dex weapon.
Fair enough.
It's not magical, so it's just a roll to hit. Add your dex modifier, add your proficiency.
Dex plus proficiency. Okay. Yeah, that's a 10. Clearly,
That's
Bobbit's never
10.
used one of these before.
You pull the lever, thunk, the ballista fires, the huge arrow goes flying through the air about 10 feet away from the dragon.
Ah, nuts. Keeper, reload!
Keeper comes forwards, lifts up the next arrow and slots it into the machine. It is Bulb's turn.
Okay, so 60-foot radius means 120-foot diameter, doesn't it?
Yes.
So does that technically mean this entire map?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna call lightning.
Yep.
At 5th level.
5th level, yep.
because I'm not dealing with this shit for too long.
The dragon's going to make it save.
Yeah, so dex save, yes.
That is a nat 20.
Yep, that's fine. So that's I still got to roll a 5d10 because he still takes half damage, I think.
Yes, he does.
Yes. So 5d10. 29, so that's 15.
15, yep.
Yep. And then I am going to move behind the mast over here so that we're not all
Clumped together.
clumped together. And then as a bonus action, I'm going to Thorn Shape.
Yep.
So now I get an extra 36 hit points.
Ooh, need it.
That is
Your turn.
all of my turns.
Okay, it is the dragon's turn. It roars as it flaps its wings. Thump, thump, you can hear them beating in the wind. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 60, 65. It flies straight towards Zinhorn.
God.
And it goes in, opening its huge mouth and making a bite attack. That is a 22, Zinhorn. You don't have your shield up, so that is a hit. So Zinhorn, you take 14 points of piercing damage plus 10 points of poison damage. Then flails its... Yep.
So 14 and 10?
Yep, 14 and 10. It then flails its claws, going in for its first claw attack. That is a 27 to hit. You take 12 points of slashing damage. And it goes in for its next claw attack, and that is a nat 1, so you duck as its claw sails over your head. It is Sir Lucian's turn. He draws his sword.
While he's having his turn, I'll be right back.
He draws his sword and charges the dragon. 3d20. Okay, he nat 20s on 1. And
cool.
then promptly misses his other 2. So... So that will be... He deals 35 points of damage to the dragon. It roars as he strikes it with his sword, searing some of its scales away. It is now Zinhorn's turn.
Did I have to do concentration or check for concentration?
Yes, you do, unfortunately.
That fell off the table. That is an 18 for con.
18 for con. Yep, your air elemental is still here.
Alright, so Zinhorn is going to bonus action get his shield going.
Yep. Auto defense straight, you shout. Your shield rises and begins to circle around you.
And something that's not concentration. Oh, that's not concentration, so let's just do a thunder wave.
Yep.
Second level thunder wave.
Okay, it's going to make it save. Thunder crackles out as it rolls a 16 on its save.
It fails.
Fails, you blast it 10 feet away. 10, 15.
And 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage, not bad at all. Okay, it is Bobbit's turn.
And then the air elemental is going to come
that's
over.
Right, the air elemental flies up to it.
What size is this thing?
The dragon is huge.
I'm back.
Okay.
Watching an air elemental punch on with a dragon. This is everything I hoped this game could be.
Each creature in the elemental space. It doesn't say a size restriction, so...
No, so it can attempt to...
Whirlwind.
Yes. So the dragon's going to make his save. That is a 26.
So that it makes it save.
Yeah.
3d8 plus 2. That is 6 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2. 6, 7, 2, 8, 9. That's 11 points of damage. Yep.
Okay, it is the ship crew's turn. Bang! A cannon fires. It hits the dragon and deals 15 points of damage.
Hey!
The dragon roars as the cannonballs slam into its body. It is Bobbit's turn.
This dragon's currently off the side of the ship, correct?
Yes.
Cool.
Thanks to the thunder wave.
Yeah, Bobbit's gonna rub her hands together and goes, "Okay, Bobbit can only try this once per day, but let's see how it goes." So bonus action, she's gonna use her spell she picked up from the Fey Touched and cast Hex on it.
Ooh, nice.
Which will, for anyone who hasn't seen Hex before, you place a curse on a creature you can see within range. Until the spell ends, you can deal an extra 1d6 necrotic damage to the target whenever you hit with an attack. Also, choose one ability. When you cast the spell, the target has disadvantage on ability checks made with the chosen ability. I'm choosing Wisdom.
Yep.
If the target drops to 0 hit points before the spell ends, I can use a bonus action on a subsequent turn of yours to curse a new creature. Remove curse, cast the target ends this early. Now, this is still only being cast at first level, because Fey Touch allows you to use it first level first. But then, with my action... Now, I can cast two... Like, if one's a bonus action, one's an action, can I cast two things at once?
Yes, you can.
Cool. With my action, I am going to cast Polymorph on it.
Ooh, okay.
Using my once-a-day Sculptor of Flesh evocation.
Yes. It's
going to need a Wisdom save with disadvantage.
That is a 6.
And that fails miserably. And Bobbit is going to turn it into a cow.
Says the dragon, now a cow, as it tumbles down below the clouds, below the jungle canopy. It takes...
Oh, higher are we?
We're in an airship, so I imagine if we're above the clouds, we're a fair way up.
Yeah, you're about 100 feet up, so that is 10d6 of damage.
Also, we get a full round to prepare, because you fall at 60 feet a second.
Yes. So it takes 26 points of damage, you hear it, as it hits the ground, and this ends the polymorph. You see the dragon just sprawled, his limbs disjointed, underneath the jungle canopy, and then he roars and spreads his wings and starts to fly back up.
Aww, I was really kind of hoping that was just going to straight up end combat as the ship kept moving.
Well, it's 1d6 damage per 10 feet you fall, so...
And the dragon has 80 feet speed.
I wasn't looking at as far as, damage was concerned. I was thinking more along the lines of just turn into a cow, the ship just keeps moving as we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, the dragon's probably now really pissed and it has an 80-foot speed.
Yeah.
I mean, either way, I was hoping to do something stupid like this, so I'm just happy it worked, really. But turn a dragon into a cow! Good times!
It's the dragon's
turn. You can also take an extra d6 of necrotic damage since it was under Hex as well.
Yes, that's right, so...
I'll roll that one. You can have... 6!
6, okay.
Boop. Keeper can just, I don't know, defend me if something goes to shit.
It is the dragon's turn. It spreads its wings and roaring begins to fly back up towards the ship. He has a fly speed of 80 feet, so he can't quite get back up to the full height of the ship. So what he does is from underneath the ship, he unleashes his poison breath, pointing it towards the ship, catching
God damn it.
Zinhorn, Lucian, the air elemental, Bobbit, and Keeper. So
air elemental's immune.
Yeah, air elemental's immune.
Bobbin and Keeper aren't even going to roll for anything. We're just going to stand here.
Yep, so Zinhorn and Sir Lucian are going to make their deck saves. So I'm going to make one for Sir Lucian.
Just imagine Bobba just there, getting like a scrubber out, starting to shower.
Yeah, just sits there and goes,
Sir Lucian passed.
What deck save was it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's 24.
24, okay. So you take 25 points of poison damage, and so does Sir Lucian. It is now Sir Lucian's turn. He's
what about Bulb?
Oh yeah, Bulb. Yeah, your turn. Go on. Forgot about Bulb.
Basically, all I'm going to do is try and hit him with a lightning bolt again.
Yep. So he's going to make his save again. Let us see how he goes. That is a 17.
That meets it, so it beats it. Hold on, wait, is it still 17? Yes, it's still 17. So yeah, he meets it, so he beats it.
Takes half damage.
10. That was a shit roll.
What was it?
17, so that is 8 damage.
Whoops.
Oh, well. That's okay.
Okay. It is now Sir Lucian's turn. He rushes to the edge of the airship and hurls his hand axe down at it. He hits it twice and deals 25 points of damage to it. It is now Zinhorn's turn.
Alright, so Zinhorn is going. How far away is the dragon?
20 feet underneath the ship.
20 feet underneath. Alright, so Zinhorn is going to wild shape into air elemental.
Yep.
And then have the two elementals merge.
Yep. Rush towards the air elemental. Please make an Arcana check.
That is a 13 plus 4 is a 17.
17. You try to merge with the air elemental. DC is 18, and as the dragon's poison breath still rocks the ship, you hit the air elemental at just the wrong angle and fail to merge with it.
Nuts.
But you still can do your air elemental attack if you like.
Well, in that case, I'm going to have both the air elementals rush
Charge
toward the dragon at the same time.
Yep, so both their air elementals charge the dragon. Go ahead and roll their attacks.
So, first attack is an 11 plus 8, or 19.
Yep, that is a hit.
And it's 2d8, which is 12 plus 5 is 17 points of damage.
Yep. And then the next
Number
attack.
2 is a 14 plus 8, so 22.
That's a hit.
Gosh, it's been dice on the floor today. That is 8 plus 5 is 13 points of damage.
Buffet the dragon with tightly compressed wind, striking it in the chest. It roars, looks at you, and then its eyes roll back in its head as it falls limp down, and you hear a thump as its huge dead body comes to rest on the jungle floor.
Can we make a quick stop?
Bobby, go to dragon into a cow. This has been a fun day.
Where there's one, there's always more, shouts the captain. Full speed ahead!
Oh, fine.
Well, Zinhorn's going to stay in air elemental form.
Yep.
and get behind, have the air elemental and Zinhorn behind a sail each, and just
just buffet the ship with wind. And as you buffet the sails, the ship picks up speed, and then you hear another roar as the jungle canopy tears, and out bursts another green dragon, at least twice the size of the one you just defeated. It flaps its wings, its eyes burning red with rage. But the two air elementals buffeting the sails cause the ship to go faster and faster. The roars decrease in volume. Excuse me. And the dragon, flapping its wings as fast as it can, grows smaller and smaller and smaller, unable to catch up with the ship, until it is just a speck on the horizon. "We're safe!" shouts the captain. "Everyone, back on the sails! Back to work! Go, go, go!"
Bob's just looking off the back of the ship going, "I think he's going to remember us."
Oh, no,
probably not.
knowing our luck, we'll meet him in a week or two.
Oh yeah, Bobbit's been finding a lot of people that want to kill her recently. Yes, I suppose this is just one more. Hooray!
Shortly after the combat settles down, night falls, and the crew retire to their quarters. You find your hammocks below deck and settle in for the night. You may have a short rest, and anything else you'd like to do, Bold?
Yeah, I am going to call... What was it? Gregorovich? Was that one of the...
Gregory and Igor.
Igor, yes.
Gregor. I'm going to call Gregor, and I'm going to spend the night casting Awaken on him.
Yep. So
Zinhorn wants to watch this.
Yep. Okay. So.
And because I'm using my staff, I don't need to use any material components.
Yes, but you are giving up a short rest.
Yes, that's fine. I didn't. Yeah. Well, did I get hit while I was gone?
No, you didn't take any damage.
No, yeah. So I'm good. I've used one spell slot and didn't take damage.
Yep.
So
you call the spider known as Grigory into your quarters, and you spend the night in front of him, magic flowing from the staff into his body, and as the first rays of sunlight begin to peek from beneath the clouds outside the portal, he raises his front leg to you in a salute, opens his fanged mouth and shouts, "To capitalism!"
And everyone actually hears that because Awakening gives them a intelligence of 10 and the ability to speak common.
Zinhorn, who is sitting in the room, legs crossed in meditation, hears this pledge of support and nearly topples over in surprise.
And then as dawn approaches, I get to regain charges, and I regain all the charges that I just used using Awaken.
The captain rings her bell, summoning the crew to continue their tasks to sail on for the next day. The crew scurry onto the deck, and with them is Grigori, and as soon as he reaches the deck, he raises his front legs and begins barking orders to the crew. "You there on the eastboard sail, you on the westboard sail, we will work together for the motherland!"
What have I done?
This is a fun day.
It takes about half an hour for all the sails to be adjusted and for the rigging to be for all the sails to be adjusted and for the ship to be in any condition to take off, because the crew is so astounded that one of the spiders that has been aiding them for a month can now talk. They immediately abandon their work, gather around him, begin cheering him, and feeding him flagons of ale. He drinks them up, and by the end of the half hour, he's staggering around on his 8 legs, saying, "Ah, yes, bread and ale, yes, the fruits of labor for the people."
He's fun.
Fine. 1, 2, 3.
You said we get a long rest, correct?
Short rest.
Oh, short rest.
At the end of the second day, who would like to roll an encounter check?
Not me, because I'm not summoning another fucking dragon.
Alright, I'll go. Damn. Okay, well, remember why I said that the Hex and Polymorph thing was once a day? Yeah, I might have to wait a little bit longer, but that's okay.
Well, no, you get it back because it's another day. Oh, does it say long rest or does it say once a day?
Both of them are, according to this...
Sculptor Flesh is 1 per long rest.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, so you don't get them back. Alright.
No, I didn't know.
So who'd like to do the encounter?
I'll go.
I rolled a nat 1.
Nat 1?
Oh!
So the
Yay!
second day passes uneventfully, and as you retire, as the sun sets, you just hear Captain Bravewing wipe her brow on her forehead and go, "Oh, at least no dragon today." "Hear, hear!" shouts Gregory. "The dragon is the spectre of communism across Europe." One of the crew members looks at him and says, "What's Europe?"
Bob's just slightly off over the side, just like, stone lands in Europe. Nah.
Second verse, same as the first.
Yep.
I'm awakening Igor.
You call Igor into your
Igor.
quarters. Zinhorn, are you going to watch this one?
Yes, he's fascinated by the...
So Zinhorn once again is
to watch.
cross-legged, sitting in meditation as you bring the second spider into the quarters. And Grigori is there watching the first time and egging you on as the magic flows from the staff. You hear Grigori saying, "Yes, yes, devour the knowledge. Knowledge leads to power, and power serves the motherland." And once again, as the first rays of morning light peek from beneath the clouds, Igor raises one of his front legs and shouts, "For the great leader!"
Oh, motherfucker. Oh, this is great. This is great.
Two spiders in unison head up to deck, and before you even have a chance to get up there, follow them up there, you hear the crew shouting and cheering. "Yeah! Now there's 2 of them! Hooray! Get the ale!" And by the time you get up to deck, you see the 2 spiders surrounded by a circle of crew. The last keg of ale has been brought from below deck and is sat next to them, and both of the spiders are just sitting there clasping several mugs with each of their legs, drinking up the ale as the crew cheer on. "Yay! For communism! Drink, 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 drink!"
Oh god, this is amazing.
3, 4. At the end of the third day, who would like to roll an encounter check?
I suppose it's my turn.
Go ahead.
Okay, come on. Shit, 15.
15. That is another encounter.
Oh no!
That dragon catches up to us and it's actually an ancient.
The
Yeah,
sun
if
begins.
the adult ones comes after us, I'm jumping off this ship.
The sun begins to set as one of the crew members shouts, "Something there on the fore! It's another airship!"
Oh!
Do you assume battle positions, or do you just wait and see what happens?
Just to be safe, maybe get ready? I don't know, Bob doesn't know how airships work, none does Elisandra, so we're just...
I am going to talk to my spiders.
Yep, and what do you bid them to
I
do?
tell them, if this turns into an actual fight, I want you to sneak down the bottom of the ship, cross to the other ship, up the other side, and cut their rigging, and then make your way back.
"It is every man's duty to defend the motherland!" shouts Grigori as he leads Igor off the side of the ship.
Freaking love these two.
The other airship draws closer and closer. Its sails are bright red, billowing in the wind, and from the flagpole you see a long yellow and red striped flag. Oh, it's okay, says Lady Bravewing. It's a Hellruin ship. A Hellruin trader.
Oh.
Hear the sighs of relief around the crew as the trading airship eventually draws closer and closer until the two airships are parallel to each other. Lady Bravewing casts Thaumaturgy to enhance her voice and calls out, "Happy sails!" You hear the captain of the other ship shout, "And to you! We heard that a Hellruin airship had been spotted in Cholt. Thought we'd pay a visit to Port Nyanzaru, see what we could trade." "Ah, good," shouts Captain Bravewing. "Yes, that is us. We're assisting the ones who entered the death curse." "Oh, is that so?" calls the captain of the trade ship. "Well, we might have something that they might want."
Did I get an encounter that's not going to kill us all?
Yes. Captain
Hooray!
Bravewing smiles. She looks over her shoulder and she says, "What do you say? Want to see their wares?"
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I don't want to see what the magical flying airship has to sell from another country. Let's do this!
"Show us what you have," she shouts, and the red-sailed airship comes to a stop as you see its crew dressed in blue robes scattering below deck, carrying out crates and barrels to showcase their wares.
As they're doing this, Bobbitt's just going to quietly lean over to Bob and go,
Maybe you should tell the spiders to come back.
Yeah, I was just thinking. Yes, I was just about to call to them.
Like
Gregory!
like
It's alright.
Yep. Yeah, you call them back and you just hear from below the ship, "What the great leader says is law!" And
"All hail Bulb, the great leader!"
I would like someone to roll a d20, please.
This is Bobbitt's encounter, so...
Alright, well,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
roll
no,
that
yep.
one. Panda dice, don't let me down. 15 again.
15 again, okay. Let me see.
Also, I'm going to train up a fucking civilization of spider riding kobolds. Just you
Careful,
watch.
Ah,
might
that
be-
sounds-
That's
I was gonna say,
leads to the
that sounds
fall.
amazing. I'm sure it will have a long-lasting and amazing time before it's destroyed in exactly 10 years
The
from now.
traders rifle through their crates and barrels until one of them brings out a golden necklace. He holds it up, and then the captain of the trader ship shouts with his thaumaturgically amplified voice, "An amulet of health!"
Oh.
Ooh. Oh, that's good. That's...
2,000 gold pieces, and it is yours!
Ah, damn. I mean, mine's con's pretty solid. Who's got the worst con here?
I have a 16.
Same here.
I already have an amulet of health, so...
Oh.
mean-
Rock, paper, scissors? Unless, well, I mean, I don't actually have any enough money for that, so...
What do
Oh,
you have that you'll trade me for?
Zinhorn does have the studded leather +2 and the rapier +2 as well if you need to.
Let's have a look at the old
Trade.
inventory.
I mean, I'll just buy it for you.
I'm sure we could work something out.
Does require attunement.
Well, I don't really use the Pearl of Power. So, that's not an issue, plus, I already have stuff. I'm just trying to work out what I could trade for Bulb. If there's anything that would work for him.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it because I'm gonna buy it
Yep.
because I have the gold for it, so that's fine.
You hand
And then we'll work something out in a minute.
hand 2,000 gold pieces to one of the crew members, and they throw out the rope ladder, turning it into a bridge between the two ships. A crew member from the other ship begins to crawl out. He hangs in the middle of the rope ladder while the crew member with the pouch of gold crawls out and meets him in the middle. They make the exchange, and the crew member soon re-emerges beside you, handing you the amulet of health. "Happy sails!" calls the captain of the trading ship as the crew scurry pull the red sails up so they catch the wind, and then the airship begins to shrink into the horizon as it leaves.
Wait, what is that pearl of power?
Pearl of Powers basically can use it.
Restore a spell slot.
Yeah, that was it. Pearl of Power. When this pearl is on your person, you can use an action to speak its command and regain one expended spell slot. If the expended slot was a fourth level higher, the new slot is third level. Yeah, once you use the pearl, it can't be used again until the next door. So basically, it can give you a spell slot up to third
Level 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trade if you want.
Yeah, I'll trade that. I'll take
Alright.
the pearl of power.
Not diggity.
You make the exchange, each of you happy with your new acquisition, and you head downstairs, find your hammocks, and rest for the night.
It's 19 in Constitution. I have to fix that now.
Yep.
I'm going to awaken that assassin vine that I have in a jar.
Oh dear God. It's gonna awaken and just go, I will strangle you all!
And so you bring the assassin vine down, and the two spiders and Zinhorn watch as the energy flows from the staff, and just as dawn peeks once again through the clouds, the assassin vine reaches up one of its thorns, pushes the cork out of the top of the specimen jar, and shouts, "Where is he? Let me at him! I'm gonna wring his neck! Ah! Ah!"
Yeah, this is perfect. I love all of
Okay,
this.
so I haven't convinced this guy yet, so now begins that. I have a proposition for you.
Opposition! All I care about is wringing someone's neck! Let me at him! Rah! The assassin vine shouts as the two spiders step forwards and hold out their legs to restrain him. Please make a persuade check.
Fuck. Oh, fuck. 6.
6.
Well, better luck next time.
Ah! I'm gonna choke the life out of you! Shouts the assassin vine, writhing and twisting. The spiders look at each other, and then Grigori looks at you and he says, "I am sorry, great leader. This one is a danger to the people's revolution." And then they descend upon him, bearing their fangs, and tear the assassin vine to shreds before your eyes.
I was just gonna command them to drop him over the side, but okay.
"The revolution is safe," says Igor as he hands you the desiccated remains of the assassin vine. All of the fluids and sap within it have been sucked out by the spiders. It's now just a dry, limp husk.
Well, at least now I know that you are devoted enough to the cause that you will defend it. So that wasn't a total loss.
They both shout in unison.
If I ever say that I don't love you, just know that I'm lying and that I do love you. Both of you.
Hear shouts from above deck, the captain ordering the crew to get to work. After a few hours, she shouts, "Forsaken tree ahead! Anchors down!" And just after lunchtime, the airship is brought to a halt. The magical anchors are deployed, holding it in place, and then Igor and Grigori use their silk to once again hold the rope ladder in place as you make your way down to the jungle below, accompanied by Artus, Messica, Zosala, and the Obonashi mage hunters.
I tell these sword spiders to stay with the ship.
They salute you with their front legs, and as you climb down below the jungle canopy, you notice that this portion of the jungle is darker, more sinister than any other part of the Cholton jungle you've been in before. The jungle canopy is much thicker. There is very, very little spots where the daylight sun peeks through. Rather, it seems to be an endless blanket of branches and foliage twisted together almost as if they've been fused fused together by some dark power, engulfing this entire area in purplish shadow. The deeper you climb, the more a sense of unease begins to well up inside you. Here is the heart of the corruption in the jungles of Cholt, and thanks to that corruption, you will not be able to get a long rest.
I'm okay with that. Would I have had a chance to attune to the Pearl of Power?
Yes, you can attune, but you cannot get a long rest.
No, yep, cool.
I will tune to the Amulet of Health as well while we're here.
The Amulet of Armor, that, every time I got nat 20'd, I needed to actually roll to see if that got destroyed, didn't I?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say it got destroyed, because I got hit with a few nat 20s.
Sadly, it got
So
destroyed.
I had a 3 attunement slot anyway.
Yeah, okay, sadly it got destroyed.
Yeah, because I got hit with like 5 or 6 the last 2 episodes. So,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
fair.
feel bad saying it probably got destroyed.
The trunk of the Forsaken Tree is a twisted miasma of sinuous, ashen-coloured wood that rises up beyond the thick jungle canopy. The stench of death and decay permeate the humid air, making it harder to breathe as you near the tree's base. Resting here would be quite a feat. A chain of twisted roots rise out of the ground like a petrified wave extending hundreds of feet from the trunk. In the centre, an opening about 30 feet wide can be spotted, surrounded by an arch of twisted vines and branches which appear to subtly twist and writhe around the opening. The Obonashi clan disperse. They surround the tree and begin to wrap it with great crimson-coloured ropes. Hanging from the ropes are tattered flags bearing the Obonashi clan's symbol. Magical wards, Sasala describes, seeing the confusion on your face. They will hold the tree in place, while Artus and I and the rest of the clan perform the ritual to bind the roots so that you may enter. Artus steps forwards, grim-faced, his hand wrapped around the finger on which rests the Ring of Winter. He looks at you, and he says, "If there's anything you'd like to do before entering, now would be the time." "Indeed," says Zashala. "Will take about 10 minutes to prepare for the ritual, for us to get these magical wards wrapped around the trunk of the tree. Then, as soon as we begin the ritual, you must embark into the depths immediately."
If I know we were getting a long rest, I probably would have held off on the polymorph thing, but that can wait for another day.
Hey, you still got a cool use out of it.
Oh, I know. I had it.
I mean, your
I had it in
polymorph worked on a dragon.
mind. That is true.
Mine failed miserably.
Yeah, but I suppose the hex definitely helped a lot with
Yeah. I have nothing that I can prepare, so
that.
I am ready. Although my armor
Bobbit-
goes down to 16, 18.
Bobbit is going to take out the odd pile of bones that she has just in her coat pockets. Because, we're probably going to need help in here.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, well, it's actually the remains of that bone golem we fought way back when we had that unfortunate incident with a lot of property damage that was definitely not her fault at all, shush. So, not sure what this is actually going to make when I resummon it, but...
Unless you cast Animate Dead, the bones coalesce into the expected number of skeletons. However, the way they fit together is wrong. You have legs that are too large for the pelvic bone that they attach to. You have a skeleton with one tiny arm and one long arm, a mixture of ribs that are different lengths and shapes, but somehow these deformed, mismatched skeletons manage to stand on their feet, walk towards you and salute at attention.
That's enough.
How many do you get? I believe it's 5.
Yes.
5 skeletons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
And
are you all
as
ready?
Ford goes, yeah, Bob only has 2 things to say at this point before we go into whatever fresh hell awaits us. Looks over at Bulb and says, if anything happens to Bobbit in there, she requests reincarnation, not resurrection. Just for fun. And looks over at Artis, and just looks over at Artis and goes, have fun, Artis. By the way, it wasn't for the fact that it's gonna kill you. She really wants that ring of yours.
Artis just says, no, you don't, Lady Alessandra. Trust me on that one. And then
come on, what's one more voice inside my head?
And then he walks off to meet with the other Obonashi clan, members as they assemble into a circle.
Yep. I'm just going to quickly summon 8. What has really good perception? Does a wolf have really good perception? Yes, I'm going to summon 8 wolves.
8 wolves, very well. You summon the 8 wolves and they appear next to the 3 mismatched skeletons.
And their orders are going to be warn us of danger.
Very well. Zasala steps forwards and she says, we will now begin the ritual. Lady Alessandra, Archdruid's Bulb and Zinhorn, Sir Lucian, the sounding stone will guide you towards the Daijobi Senga. Whenever you reach a junction in the caverns beneath the tree, allow the sounding stone to point you in the right direction. You need not get lost if you trust in the sounding stone. She says, good luck. We hope to see you and the Daijobi Senga very soon. She hobbles back into the circle, and then, in unison, the Obonashi clan members begin to chant, singing, their voices ringing out like a low hum as Arctis, in the middle of the circle, raises his hands. The ring of winter glows a bright blue, and magic begins to flow outward from it, waves of vibrant energy that surround the chanting mage hunters. The writhing vines and branches at the base of the tree become dormant, locked in place. And between them, at the very base of the tree, you can see a hole just big enough for you to crawl into. You all nod, take one last look at the chanting Obonashi clan members, and one by one crawl into the hole. You crawl for what seems like hours as the shaft twists and turns, as jagged bits of wood stick out and prick you on the back of your neck, stick into the small of your back and jostle you from side to side. It is a tough fit, but eventually you see the dim light at the end of the shaft and pull yourselves out into the darkness below the roots of the tree. The passages beneath the tree are lined with thorny, twisted vines and roots that writhe and pulse as you begin to make your way down the passage. Sometimes these vines even bleed, or form into visages of tormented faces that scream silently at you. Any light source you carry seems to shed a tinge of deep red, making it look as if the tunnels, the vines, and the screaming faces are painted in a layer of blood. I'd like someone to roll a d6, please.
Any volunteers?
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, Zinhorn can do it.
It's you. I was gonna say, guess it's you, buddy.
That'd be a 2.
Okay, a 2 plus 1, that is 3 junctions you must get through before you get to the Chamber of the Cursed Heart.
I will be right back.
Okay. And so, with Alessander holding out the sounding stone, you make your way through these macabre tunnels, the rune on the sounding stone glowing bright orange. You continue walking until you come to a junction. The tunnel splits into 4 separate passages. You stop, and Alessander holds out the sounding stone at the entrance to each tunnel. Alessander, I'd like you to make an insight check, please.
Oh.
And Zinhorn help?
Zinhorn can help, yes. But Alessander must make it
I
stone.
I said even with my +1, I'm going to need some help on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got lucky. I rolled an 8 and a 16, so that's going to be 17.
You hold out the sounding stone at the entrance to each tunnel, and there, the second tunnel to the right, you notice that the sounding stone begins to release an almost imperceptible hum. This must be the correct direction. And so you continue down this tunnel. As you go, the tunnel gets narrower. The vines and branches continue to writhe. The fleshy faces growing out of them continue to scream in silent pain. And then, as you step into a particularly narrow part of the tunnel, I would like everyone to roll for initiative, please.
Oh, damn. Okay. Oh, not good. Well, that's an 8 for Alessander.
Zinhorn?
That'd be a 10.
10?
I rolled a 2.
Wow, Zinhorn rolled bad on initiative. That almost never happens.
Oh, no, I rolled a 2 plus an 8, so...
Yeah, still better than me by a landslide.
Alright. Wait for Bulb. But as you continue down the tunnel, you begin to hear shuffling ahead in the darkness, and then out of the red haze step 3 bony, emaciated corpses, their eyes glowing bright yellow. They open their mouths and moan as they shuffle towards you. Obviously some type of undead, but they move with agility that you've never seen before. Their first few steps are the normal zombie gait, but then all 3 of them break into a run, sprinting towards you. Bobbert,
Zinhorn looks at Bobbert and goes, "Are they friends of yours? Please tell me they're friends of yours."
Bobbert, what was your initiative?
No, I only got an 8, so I believe I'm going last.
Alright, well, the enemies have a 19. I'm going to assume Bulb doesn't get 19. No. So, Spawn of Caius 1 roars and sprints out of the red haze of a nearby tunnel towards you. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, it is Sir Lucian's turn. Sir Lucian rushes towards the nearest monster, raises his sword and swings at it. That is a nat 20, a nat 1, and a 12, so he hits it twice. He deals 30 points of damage to it, knocking it to the floor. It climbs to its feet and roars, flailing its clawed arms at him. Okay, it is... Zinhorn, what did you get?
10.
10. Okay, it is Messica's turn. Messica runs ahead 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and stands her ground, waiting for the enemies to approach. Zinhorn, it is your turn.
Okay. So, pick on front. Zinhorn is going to Flame Blade at
Yep.
second level
Yep.
and charge over to the far side of number 1.
Yep. Flanking it.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll with initiative. Roll with advantage, sorry.
That is 13 plus 9 is a 22.
That is a hit. Roll your damage.
3d6 is 10 points of fire damage.
Lovely. They are not weak to fire, but you see the creature raise its hands, blocking out its face from the flames of your sword as you attack it.
And then have the vine come around and go for a swing.
Go ahead.
And then vine is a +4. That is a 15.
That is a hit. Roll the damage.
Okay. And 1d8.
Incredibly
Yes.
sorry.
Yep, that's
1
alright.
point of 1 point of damage.
How much damage?
1 point of damage.
Lovely. Take that, you overgrown leather sack! Shouts your vine as he swings his axe at the spawn of Caius. See what Bulb gets on his initiative.
15.
15, okay, Bulb, you're up.
Cool. Yeah, I was literally just supposed to get up and turn the fucking oven on to heat up for food, and because the power went out,
Oh,
I had to actually press buttons on it to
it's reset.
get it to
yeah.
go. Yeah.
It happens.
Yep. Okay, so can I just get a very brief overview of what's happening?
So,
We
you
went
made
with
your way
tree,
into the
now we're
tunnel
fighting
past the
zombies.
first intersection. Bobbit used the sounding stone to find the correct path. And now, as you're making your way down this tunnel, 3 emaciated, leathery corpses have come running out of the red haze of darkness at you.
Okay, and do I have my 8 wolves?
I will put them on the map. I have to add
Awesome.
wolves on the map.
I'm going to send 3 to help Sir Lucian and Zinhorn.
Yep.
And then I and the other 5 are going to race 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 down here behind Mestica?
Yep, Messica.
Messica? Yep.
That's wolf. 4 to 8, and so you're just going to run over there. You're not going to cast a spell.
And I'm going to cast Produce Flame and throw it.
Yep, alright. At 2 or 3.
Let's go with 2 because it's closest, and I just gotta
Yep, alright. Make a ranged spell attack, please.
I get plus 11 now, so hey, that's 27.
That's a hit. Roll your damage.
And Produce Flame, does that go up damage 3d8 fire?
It does.
Because I stayed a solo class for once.
You did.
Good thinking.
3d8. I actually have 3d8s. 4, 7, 14.
Nice. 14. Ah! The creature roars as you hurl a small plume of flame at it. Okay, it is Bobbit's turn.
Okay. So, who's going what way? Let's try and determine. Bobbit is going to send her skeletons to go help with. Actually, no, we probably need. Trying to determine which way to send forces. The skeletons can go help Zinhorn and Lucian.
Yep.
While myself and Keeper can go and try and see if we can help with the other 2 again.
Yep. Alright, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You can stand behind Bulb.
Works for me. Keeper's going to be obviously a little further back because he's
5,
low boy.
10, 15, 20. Well, he can just reach you, but he won't be able to attack until next turn. You're going to cast a
That's
spell.
okay. Yes, I might just go with the old tried and true Eldritch Blast on number 2.
Yep.
Some force damage into him. So let's see, that is 12 plus. I don't remember this when I need to use the damn thing. 12 plus 9, so yeah, it's a 23 on the first, and then only an 11 on the second.
Both hit. Roll your damage.
Oh, fun. Okay. 10 on the first, and so 7 on the second, so it's 17 points of force damage.
Lovely. Okay. Okay.
The skeletons can attack if they've reached the first one.
Yep. Alright, at the end of your turn, the skeletons launch an attack on Spawn of Caius number 1. So that will be 5d20s. And...
Would they get advantage with flanking?
Yes, they do. And 3 of them hit.
Yeah.
So that is 12 points of damage. To the Spawn of Caius. And Bulb's Wolves 1 to 3 also attack.
And they get advantage because of pack tactics.
They do.
Nice. Mess them up.
3d20. Okay, 2 of them hit, 1 nat 20s. So
No.
Dang.
that is 11 points of damage to the Spawn of Caius number 1. Okay.
If the target is a creature, it must succeed on a DC 11 strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
Yep, let's do that. 11,
I forget about that
13,
every time.
and 13.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, it is now the enemy's turn, as Keeper can't do anything yet. Okay, so let me see here.
Can he hold his action to attack if something gets close?
Yeah, sure. Sure, he
There you
grips his hands into a fist and he stands firm, eyeing down the enemies. Okay, so the Spawn of Caius 2 takes 1 step forward and opens its mouth, and a tiny worm drops out of its mouth and begins to slither along the floor towards Bulb. Bulb, I need you to make a dex save, please.
Okay.
Master, is that Lord Tongues? Is that you?
That is a 16.
16. You fail. You see the small worm coming towards you. You try to avoid it, but it scrambles up your boots, up your clothing, lands on your arm, and burrows down into your skin. You take 1 point of piercing damage.
What the fuck?
Okay.
Then Spawn of Caius 3 runs forwards and roars as it makes 2 claw attacks, one against Messica. The first one is a 22, it hits her, she takes 9 points of damage. The second one against Bulb, that is a 16.
That hits. That meets it.
Yep,
Because I don't have my shield up.
so you take 6 points of slashing damage plus 3 points of necrotic damage, so 9 damage altogether. And then it opens its mouth as another worm drops down and begins to flail towards Bobbit. Bobbit, please make a dex save.
Oh, why we gotta do this? No, it's plus 3. That is 22. That was a 19.
You see the worm coming and you stamp down on it, crushing it.
Look over the bulb and just go, is that thing still inside you?
It is. Spawn of Caius
Yes.
1 makes 2 claw attacks against Sir Lucian. First is a 13, it misses. The second is a nat 20, so Sir Lucian takes 14 slashing damage and 14 necrotic damage, so 28 altogether he takes.
Yikes.
So he has taken 52 points of damage altogether so far.
Jeez.
It then opens its mouth, spits out another worm, which begins to slither towards Zinhorn. Zinhorn, make a dex save, please.
That's a 19 plus 8.
19 plus 8. You see the worm coming. You step backwards, and as it leaps towards you, you catch it and crush it in your hands. Okay, it is Sir Lucian's turn. He is going to use his second wind as a bonus action. So that
So I gotta make a
10 plus 12.
fucking Constitution save.
He gains 22 HP, meaning he's up to 131, and then he attacks with his sword. 20, and he hits it 3 times, dealing 26 points of damage to it. It is now Bulb's turn.
Hey,
Bulb, at the start of your turn, you feel your inside squirming, and you look at your arm and you can see the worm burrowing under your skin. You take 6 points of necrotic damage.
6 points. Okay. This is getting interesting. This is getting very interesting. Okay, I'm going to roll my concentration first.
Yep.
Which is 14 plus 7, so I'm fine. I'm going to bonus action summon my shield, so vomit.
Yep.
So my AC becomes 18.
Yep.
I'm just... it's already in my skin, it's not actually on me.
Yeah, it's burrowed underneath your skin.
I am going to... What? Produce flame once again.
Yep.
I guess.
You're gonna throw it or melee with it?
Well, it's the same because it's a spell.
Spell attack, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just gonna melee number 2. Actually, no, I'm gonna throw it at number 2 because we've already got damage on him.
Yep.
That's 17 plus 11, so 28.
That's a hit. Roll your damage.
That is a much better roll. That is 5, 11, 18.
Ooh, nice. 18 points of damage. Alright. Just see. Yep, okay. It is now Messica's turn. With a look of disgust on her face, she raises her Kolpesh swords. She uses a feinting attack on Sport of Caius 3. It reaches out to claw her, but she ducks and then takes advantage of the opening, swinging both of her swords at it. So the first will be a hit with 21, and it takes 10 points of damage. And then she swings with her other sword, and that will be a hit with 27, and it takes another 10 points of damage. It is now Bobbitt's turn. No, Zinhorn's turn.
I will be right back again.
Zinhorn is going to activate his shield as a bonus action, and then swing Flame Blade again.
Go ahead, roll to hit it.
That is a 14.
14, that is a hit. Roll your damage.
Yay! And another 3d6 of fire is 6, and 6 is 12 plus 4 is 16.
16, nice. Okay, it is Bobbit's turn.
Okay, can I... I'm not in melee distance, am I?
No,
5
you'll have to
feet.
squeeze past
No.
Bulb and his wolves.
Nah, it's fine. I can just keep throwing Eldritch Blasts at the... At number 3. Is there anything I could do to try and help Bulb understand what that worm thing was at all?
No, not unless you have the time to sit down and examine it. You just know it's bad.
God damn it. Because I can't help but feel that's probably going to be bad in some manner. But, oh well, in the meantime, here we go once again with Eldritch Blast, because I don't really know what to do with these damn things.
Yep.
Alright, one is 14 and a 16.
Both hit.
At least they have that in common with regular zombies. That's only going to be 9 points of force damage. It's not a ton, but yeah, what we do.
Yep. Very well. Okay. It is now...
Keeper and the Skeleton's still in it.
Yep, Keeper and the Skeletons. So the Skeletons
Yeah,
go
boys.
in, they attack Spawn of Caius 1 and destroy it.
Yay!
Meanwhile, Bulb's wolves, go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, run back towards the other fight. His remaining wolves go to attack Spawn of Caius 3. 2 of them hit and deal 8 points of damage. It's going to roll to see if it falls prone. It gets an 18 on the first and a 21 on the second, so it stays on its feet. And then it is Keeper's turn. Keeper steps forward. Actually, Keeper can't step forwards because all the wolves are in the way. So Keeper just stands there in place if anyone gets through. It is the enemy's turn. Spawn of Caius 3 opens its mouth, sending out a worm towards Bobbit. Please make a dex save, Bobbit.
Why are we going to do this? That's only a 12 this time.
A 12. The worm slithers towards you, leaps onto your cloak, and then scurries up onto your arm, and then you take 1 point of piercing damage as it buries itself in your flesh.
That's not going to be good.
It then makes a claw attack at one of the wolves. It nat 20s and reaches forwards and rips one of the wolves' heads off. Then it makes a second claw attack at the wolves. It hits and kills another wolf. This wolf just yelps and drops dead. Spawn of Caius 2 steps forwards. He opens his mouth, sending out a worm towards Messica. She's going to roll a dex save. She passes, leaping out of the way as the worm slithers past her. She kneels down and crushes it underfoot. And then it's going to make its claw attacks against Messica. So the first one is a 16. She dodges out of the way. And the second is a 20. It hits her and deals 17 points of damage to her. She's looking a bit hurt, but she looks over her shoulder and nods, gritting her teeth, showing you that she's still in the fight. It is now Bulb's turn.
Yeah. I'm just going to...
Bulb, at the start of your turn,
Oh,
you feel the worm burrowing within your body, and you take 14 points of necrotic damage.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I am going to, as a bonus action, activate... No, I'm not. As in Horn, do we get... No, don't worry.
What?
I was going to ask, do we get our wild shapes back after a short rest?
You do.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to use my last wild shape to thorn shape again.
Yep.
So that now I have extra health that will be getting taken off instead of... And then I'm just going to produce flame and throw it at number 2 again.
Alright, go ahead, roll to hit him.
That is 21.
That is a hit, roll your damage.
That is 5, 7, 14.
14, nice. And then at the end of your turn, your wolves rush forwards. Wolves 4 to 6, each of them rolls. They both hit. They pounce on the spawn of Caius, pin it to the ground, and rip its head off.
Lovely!
It is Sir Lucian's turn. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He raises his hand axe and hurls it at spawn of Caius 2 should be dead, not 3. There we go.
Yeah, close enough.
So they would have gone here then. He hurls his hand axe at spawn of Caius 3. It's 3d20. He hits it 3 times, dealing d6 plus, dealing 23 points of damage to it. So it is now Messica's turn. She uses her fainting attack, and while it's distracted, goes in to hit it with her rapier with advantage on the first attack. So that is a 10 to hit. That is a 12 to hit. She hits it and deals 13 points of damage. And then she goes in with her second attack and nat 1s.
Aww.
But she does get her sneak attack damage on the first attack, which is an additional 13. So it is now Zinhorn's turn.
I'll be back again.
What would Zinhorn like to do?
Well, Zinhorn's going to charge up his 35 feet that he can.
Yep. 1, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Yep. As far as you can get, but you can see it. You can do some sort of ranged attack on it.
Well, that is something I do have. But I'm going to do a frostbite.
Yes, okay.
A con save, please.
Going to make a con save. That is a 19.
Well, it passes its con save, and that is 3, 6, 8 points of cold damage.
Yep. 8 points, lovely. Okay, it is Bobbit's turn, and Bobbit, at the start of your turn, you see the worm squirming underneath your skin. You feel your insides wrench, and you take 9 points of necrotic damage.
No, bad worm.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of these worms.
You like?
Yeah, neither am I. I would like the worm to not be trying to dig into me. That would be great.
And how would you like to deal with it? It's already under your skin.
I should probably deal with this stupid spawn thing before. Actually, I'll get Keeper to go smash this thing. What can I actually do to try and deal with this thing?
Could try to attack the bulge in your skin, see if you can crush the worm. Otherwise, you'll have to damage your own arm, or you could possibly try to cure a disease or a restoration.
Would a medicine check work?
If you have the time to do it, yes.
I don't have good medicine either.
I could, well, because I've got to get rid of mine as well, so I could, after this fight's over.
Keeper, go smash the thing. Go smash the thing right now.
Are you going to do anything, though?
As much as I want to get rid of the thing that's inside me right now, we'll deal with that in a second. I will lob a firebolt, firebolt
At
bolt
spawn of
at
fires. Go ahead,
this
roll
one.
to hit it.
Let's I had to make sure I was very clear on that one before something
Yeah.
wrong with it. That is a 26.
That's a hit. Roll your damage.
Getting that 2d10 of fire. That is 12 point.
Nice.
Please tell me this thing wants the thing.
Okay, at the end of your turn, Keeper steps forwards, he raises his fist and brings him down in a roar. His fist smashes on the creature's head, caves it in, and it topples over. However, the worms continue to burrow under your skin, and Bobbit, you take 10 points of necrotic damage, while Bulb takes 8.
Okay. I am immediately going to try and get it out of Bobbit.
Yep. Make a medicine check, please.
Bob's doing a
12
check
plus
on Bobbit. Zinhorn's going to do a check on Bulb.
Alright, so go ahead, both of you roll medicine checks.
I got a 21.
21, and how did Zinhorn go?
18.
18. Okay, so Bulb kneels down in front of Bobbit, who's screaming, "Get it out! Get it out!" And you make an incision in her arm, and you see the worms swirling, trying to dig into one of her blood vessels. You carefully remove it. You feel a sting as Zinhorn does the same to you, standing at your side, until both of the worms are extracted, dropped onto the ground, and crushed. You appear to be safe.
Those things were entirely gross, and never again. Can we not do that ever again?
Would you like to know how they work? Now that you've defeated the monsters?
Well,
Maybe.
are we going to run in?
Maybe.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
we'll
can't
run
even.
through again, so...
Yeah,
Alright.
so maybe.
Yeah, I was
Alright.
gonna say, wait till after the session, because it seems
Yeah.
unfair to get that
Yeah.
info before.
So, how's everyone doing?
Yep, and you have a short. You can have a short rest if you like,
Okay, yeah, I'm going to take that short rest opportunity.
or you continue on.
Yeah. Wait, this is, as long as we're only taking 10 minutes.
Yeah, only 10 minutes.
I do have to
Feeling
say that
utterly
Amulet health did wonders
disgusted
for
by
my
these
health.
worms, you hold back the urge to hurl, to vomit right over your feet. So you sit
I like that,
down.
surrounded by like a flesh golem, surrounded by flesh golem and undead skeletons, worm digging into my arms, like, ew!
Yep. And so
Zinhorn
you
wants
just
to go
sit
to
down,
one of
wrapping
the-
your arms around yourself, rocking back and forth, trying to hold back the nausea as you take a short rest.
Zinhorn wants to go over to one of the worms that is like dead but still in like sort of
Still
taking have a look at it, check it out.
You may make a nature check.
Well, that's an 18.
So you notice that the worm has rather sharp teeth. These teeth look to you like the tips of tiny needles, and as you study them, terrible thought pops into your head that these worms dig into the nerves of their host. You look over at the dead, emaciated spawns of Caius and wonder, were they once living people taken over by these worms?
Well, at the very end of the short rest, I'm going to use my Pearl of Power to get 3rd level spell slot back.
Yep.
And then reconjure 8 wolves. And
Yep.
I will be back. The wolves are to try and hear or smell any enemies.
So after you finish...
So I've inspected the worm and then I go, "Hey Bobba, what do you think about this?" Fling it over in her direction.
Bobbit the
How do you like
Fourth
if I
is
start throwing dead
entirely
plants at your
unsettling.
feet?
Do you have anything you'd like to particularly say about it? Because I did cut you
Yeah,
off.
it's going, that's gross. How would you like it if I threw dead vines at your feet?
Just looks at my vine and goes, "Well, I've already got one sentient vine."
That is
What
true.
were these? I like the fact that we've gone from early Resident Evil, and now we're dealing with like the friggin' Resident Evil 4 with the friggin' worms.
Yeah. And so you force a meager meal down your throat, and you almost bring it right back up because you're still feeling nauseous. But eventually, you climb to your feet, hold out the sounding stone, which is still softly humming, and continue. Yeah, thanks, Kate. And continue traveling down through these depths. Yeah, normally that wouldn't have been picked up, but I'm using the laptop microphone, so a lot of noise is coming through now. And as you move on, the vines continue to flail, but they start to look less and less like vines. The colour changes from a sickly green to a pink pallor, and eventually they take on the look of fleshy tendrils, squirming and writhing on the walls. The tormented faces continue screaming in silent pain as you walk past, and once again you come to another junction, this time splitting off into 6 separate directions, each of them leading away into darkness tinged by the red haze given off by the light sources you are carrying. Bobbit, please make another insight check, and Zinhorn, you may help.
Certainly.
I'm again really, really glad that you're giving me help, because that was either going to be a 16 or a 1. So we're gonna take that. We're gonna take that lovely 16.
You hold the sounding stone out once again at the entrance to each of the tunnels, listening carefully, and sure enough, when you point it towards the tunnel leading due east, it hums almost imperceptibly, and the orange rune glows ever so slightly brighter. You nod, inform the party this is the correct way to go, and continue leading them down the tunnel. Soon, you come upon a section of tunnel where strange plants cover the path before you, a mixture of mushrooms and shrubs. They glow with an eerie phosphorescence, emanating a sickly purple and yellow glow. They completely fill the tunnel, blocking off your path. What would you like to do?
Plant person, go fix.
Okay, so this will be a skill challenge. You must get at least 10 successes before 3 failures.
Oh God!
Or you lose.
What?
We've done these before.
Wait. We're all backwards. I know it's been a while, so what exactly are we trying to
So you're
do
trying
against
to
this
move
thing?
through the tunnel, and you're going to do skill checks, and you need to get 10 successes before you get 3 failures. Getting 3 failures will fail the skill challenge. So, you can use nature to try to identify the plants. You can use perception to try to look for an area that may not be as densely populated to squeeze through. You could use acrobatics to try to latch onto the top of the tunnel and scramble past them. What would you like to do?
The options given, I'm probably going to have to go with nature, because it's...
You can think of other
Yeah,
ways. If you can
basically-
think of anything else, you could try that as well.
I have a spell.
Yep. You can
Wait.
cast a spell if you can tell me what spell and how you use it. If it works, it counts as an automatic success.
I'm just thinking. I've got a spell which is Wind Walk. You and
Yep.
up to 10 willing creatures you see assume a gaseous form for the duration, which is for 8 hours.
Yep.
Oh.
And you have a flying speed of up to 300 feet.
Yeah, if you want to cast that, that will allow you to just move through the plants.
It is a 6th level spell. It'll be my only 6th level spell.
So do you guys
Wow.
want Zinhorn to cast that? That'll automatically get you 5 successes, as you'll pass the first part of the first half of the skill challenge by getting past the plants.
And during this 8 hours, you can take a minute to transform in and out of gaseous form.
Wait, so wouldn't this just let us pass through the whole thing, though, if we're...
Well, it lets
Like
you
the
through the
gaseous
plants.
form
The
as
other
well?
half of the skill challenge, it wouldn't really matter for, because there's something
Okay.
after the plants.
That makes sense.
And it's not a concentration spell either, so...
Really? Wow. I suppose that's a 6th level spell for you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So for the next 8 hours, we'll be able to go in and out of gaseous form, but it will take a minute to go in and a minute to go out.
Yep.
So,
So
yeah, not helpful in battle, but still pretty interesting.
if Zinhorn is fine with using that spell slot, he may cast it, and that'll be automatically give you the maximum 5 successes for this half of the skill challenge. Would you like to do that, Zinhorn?
Yes, I've got other forms of healing if I need to,
Yep.
so...
So you cast the spell on every member of the party, and then you watch over the next minute as your bodies transform into transparent, cloudy, misty shapes, and you just move through the barrier of phosphorescent plants. I'd like everyone to make a con save with advantage as you move through.
Oh, I'm glad that's with advantage. That is
I
a
love it.
2 and a natural 20.
Well, I got a 19 and a 13, so I'm going to take that 19 to up it to the 23, because
Yep.
yay, plus 4 con now.
So Lucian and Messica both pass. And I will roll for Bulb. And Bulb fails, granting him a level of exhaustion. As
Shit.
even in his gas form, he inhales invisible toxic spores given off by these plants, and they fill him with a great fatigue. Once you cross through the field of phosphorescent plants, you transform back into your normal forms and continue down the winding, eerie tunnel. You press on for about 15 minutes until you come to another barrier. Recent seismic activity has dislodged rocks from the ceiling, partially blocking the path before you. The debris is packed tightly, tight enough that there are no gaps that you can see that would allow you to even pass through in your gaseous form. What would you like to do? You can investigate to see if you can find any tiny gaps that may not be visible at the moment. You can make an athletics check to try to dig some of the rocks out of the way, or anything else you'd like to think of.
I like investigation.
Yep. Go ahead, make an investigate check.
I'm back. Sorry it took so long. What did I
Okay,
miss?
you have a level of exhaustion.
Of course, okay.
For the next 8 hours, you can take a minute to turn into a gaseous form. Or
Yes.
Oh, nice. You
Back
cast
out.
this. Oh, nice.
I cast Windwalk.
That's a 17.
A 17. Try as you might, you cannot find even the tiniest of gaps in the debris. It is packed so tightly, it's as if something has caused this section of the tunnel to rupture multiple times, densely packing in all these rocks, bits of tree roots and dirt.
Is this just one blockage, or is there multiples around us?
It's blocking the way ahead. You can turn around and try to find another way, but the sounding stone said this is the way that's the most direct.
Well, is there at least a 1-inch gap in any of the rocks?
Bobbit investigated, but failed and did not find anything. If you'd like to make your own investigate check, you can. Otherwise, you can try to make an athletics check to try to dig some of it out of the way, which may reveal a gap.
I'd like to turn into the gaseous form and just try to pass through the wall.
You try to pass through the wall in your gaseous form, but it's so tightly packed together that every time you find a tiny gap and press into it, you find the passage blocked by yet more debris. There doesn't appear to be any hole that leads directly through to the other side. You'll have to stop and check or dig some out of the way.
Zinhorn is going to... which way am I wanting to do this?
It's airtight.
Zinhorn is going to summon an earth elemental.
Yep. To shift it away.
To sort of go in, see if you can find like any sort of gap, and then sort of like attack outwards, like to try and damage to make a hole or something.
Yep. Okay, so you summon an earth elemental. The tunnel shakes as the great golem of rock steps forwards towards the blockage, and then without you having to order it, it punches its massive stone fist into the blockage. The entire tunnel shakes. Dust falls from the roof as the fleshy tendrils that grow from the walls flail around. Now that it has leverage, it reaches in with its hands and begins to lift huge chunks of rock out of the way, making just enough of a gap that you're able to pass through. I'd like you to make dex saves with advantage if you're going through in your gaseous form.
Yep.
Oh. Is that all of us that are going through it, or?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if you're all
Okay,
there's no reason for you to stay behind.
Again, we're praising the friggin' disadvantage, because I literally went from one end to the other. That was a nat 1 and a nat 20.
I got 7.
I got 18.
18, yep. Okay, so Lucia needed that advantage, otherwise he wouldn't have passed. Thanks to your gaseous form, you're able to flow through a gap in the debris that the earth elemental has made. When you reach the other side, you turn back into your corporeal forms, just in time to feel the entire tunnel shake as the blockage caves in behind you, crushing the earth elemental and de-summoning him.
Aww.
But you press on.
He did his job.
His job, and you have passed the skill challenge.
Thanks, Rocky.
Passed the skill challenge, 10 successes versus 1 failure.
Huzzah!
Yay.
Soon enough, you come to yet another intersection. This one is the most complicated of them all. The tunnel stops and branches off into at least 20 different tunnels, some of them reaching up into the roof, some of them descending down into the earth, others twisting in amongst themselves from left to right. I would ask Bobbit to please make an insight check again, and Zinhorn may assist.
16. I keep getting scared that you keep throwing these inside checks at me. I'm not that great at these.
Well, you're the one holding the sounding stone. You could always hand it to someone else if you wanted to. But you've been the one holding it.
Oh. Yeah, that probably would have been a good idea, huh?
You are definitely still a 12-year-old in brain.
You're talking about Bobbit or?
Bobbit.
Yes. I mean, in reality, did any of the adults who are apparently super wise and smart think to go, maybe
I haven't been here for the majority. I've missed all the checks.
I did think about it, but then I'm like, no, it's funny.
So that is a 16
then.
with advantage.
Yes.
You walk up past each of the tunnels that branch off from this one, holding the sounding stone close to your ear, and you think you hear it hum at one of the tunnels that descends straight down into the earth below.
Oh no.
You think you hear it hum enough that you're confident that you're confident enough to turn around and tell the party that you need to go deeper.
Well, I've doomed us all. Have fun, guys.
I would like everybody to make an acrobatics or athletics check to climb down the shaft that Bobbit indicates.
Well, Zinhorn is going to gaseous up and...
Yeah, I'm going to
fly
guess
out.
as
Yep.
well.
Yeah.
Just transform into your gaseous forms and flow down into the shaft. You reach the bottom, it twists to the left, you follow it. It twists to the right, you follow it, and then it finally ascends straight back up. You fly up the shaft and find yourself in another section of tunnel. Here, there is no greenery left. All of the roots and branches of the tree have taken the form of fleshy tentacles, grasping out, trying to reach you. Even the silently screaming faces are gone. The red tint is even darker. A soft red mist fills the air, and you smell blood. The stench of decay gets stronger. I would like everyone to please make a perception check, and this is a listening check.
Oh, good.
First level of exhaustion is disadvantage on checks, isn't it?
25.
13. I'm really glad I have all these disadvantages, because nat ones keep popping up, and it's starting to scare me.
Is first level of exhaustion disadvantage on checks?
Yes, it is.
I believe so, yes.
Oh, that's alright. That's still a soft 20.
Okay, so that is a group pass. The tunnel shakes beneath your feet as you hear rumbling, something tunneling within the earth, something getting closer and closer to you.
Did I stop it screw up?
What would you like to do?
Zinhorn is going to activate his shield.
Yep. Auto defense straight, you whisper. Your shield props up, begins to fly around you. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'm going to activate mine as well.
Yep. Suddenly, the tunnel before you...
Oh,
Yep.
Okay.
Bobbit, what did you want
I
to
was
do?
going to say, Bobbit's going to cast Armor of Agathis on herself.
Good idea.
Pardon me.
Suddenly, the tunnel wall ahead of you is split in two as something huge, fleshy, and purple begins to barrel out of the wall. Please roll for initiative.
Oh god, no! I mean, Bobbit has no idea what this is. I know what this is!
18.
18.
21.
21. How did Zinhorn go?
This place is not good for my initiative rolls.
Oh god, what have you done?
That is a 4 + 8.
Ooh.
Oh wow! I actually get to go first, and I
Yeah.
really don't want to this time.
Ah!
I mean, I really don't want to go first, because, oh no!
A huge purple worm spills out of the wall of earth, opens its gaping maw, and you see its sharp teeth bared at you. And then behind it, out pop 3 tiny purple wormlings. They unfurl and begin to slither in your direction. Your wolves and your skeletons were left behind, by the way, thanks to the gaseous form.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to roll the enemy's initiative. Because you could have found another way through, but the gaseous form was the quickest way. At that cost. So the enemies will not be going first, and by hearing them coming, you were not surprised. So Bobbit, you're up first.
In fairness, it was 10 creatures, so some of them could have made it.
Yeah, okay, so we'll say 10 creatures, so there are 6 of you. So, did you want to bring 3 skeletons or 3 wolves?
gonna bring 3 wolves, I think.
Very well. Skeletons did do their part before, so it's not like they didn't get any use.
That's fine. They're still there, waiting for us to inevitably come back. Probably, maybe not.
Yep. So 3 wolves next to Bolt. Right. So Bobbit, you're up first.
Oh god.
Wouldn't it be 4 wolves? If there's 6 of us and...
Yeah, sorry, 4 wolves. Wolves 1 to 4, so half of the wolves came along.
I'm just trying to figure out what in the holy hell to do with this thing, because... no! Not a fan of any of this.
So did we all transform back into our bodies? Damn it.
You don't have to, you could...
Well, I'm gonna say...
Yeah.
Wait.
I'm gonna say that Bulb's still gaseous.
Alright, Bulb is still...
So how does that work? Can we...
It takes up to a minute to transform.
Yeah.
Wait, so how does this work then? Are we...
Well, I said that you transformed out, but if you didn't want to transform out, you can start this fight in gaseous form.
Can we do anything while we're in these forms, or is it just
straight
up?
So
how far is that?
You can't be hit, but you can't take damage. But you can't deal damage.
Well, in the form you have this flying speed of up to 300 feet, resistance to damage from non-magic weapons. And the action a creature can take in this form is the dash action or revert to its normal form. Reverting takes 1 minute.
Yeah. So
in which time the creature is incapacitated and can't move.
Yep.
So if we stayed in gaseous form, could we just straight up bolt and leave this?
That's what I'm doing.
You could try. You have to make it to get out of here. You have to make it to... I'm going to mark a place on the map. You have to make it to here.
Okay, well, 300 feet. Take the attack of opportunity.
Wait, so how far is 300 feet? That's 30
600,
spaces, isn't it?
600 of these squares.
Oh, yeah, 600. Oh, okay.
No, not 600.
You said up to 300 feet, and then you said we could only take the dash action, which would be 600, wouldn't it?
Yeah, 600 feet.
So 1, 2, 3, 5. So that's like 60 spaces, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, wait. Math,
well,
hold up.
300 times 5. No, 300 divided by 5.
Well, there's 20 in 100, so 30 in... No, 60 in 300.
60 and 300.
Now, this does count as difficult terrain, though, so... Because it's all...
Yeah, but we're gaseous, we're floating.
Well, yeah.
Plus, we take the dash. You know what? Yeah, Public might say if we get to choose which one, yeah, staying in gaseous form, and we'll take the dash action to move. I suppose it's 300 feet since we can't do the full 600 on.
Yep.
And I'm going to be taking this route because I want nothing to do with this son of a bitch here. Just
right.
nothing.
So Bobbit goes first, moving down the tunnel. And the purple Wormling 2 gets an attack of opportunity against you as you move past.
Using its one and only reaction?
Of course it nat 20s.
But you have resistance to this, so you take...
that would have been anyway, either way.
You take... He lashes out with his tail stinger. You take 5 points of piercing damage.
Oh, and if I stay in gas form, we can mark off that I didn't use Armor of Agathis, then...
Okay.
We'll remove that, because that's not fair otherwise.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping that you would do the fight, but, like, I'm not gonna
sure.
Go, I'm just gonna cancel Zinhorn's spell. So you take 5 points of piercing damage, you're immune to poison damage.
Yay! And yeah, Keeper's going to follow suit.
Keeper's going to follow. You just zoom straight down the purple worm's tunnel in gaseous form, trying your best to avoid it. And Keeper's going to come along. It's going to make an attack of opportunity against him.
1 reaction per round.
Oh yeah, 1 reaction per round.
Yeah,
yes.
So yeah, if everyone just comes down this route, they can't actually...
Okay, alright.
Cool, everyone just fucking nick off.
It's a purple worm.
Yeah, fuck that noise. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Dale. I know
Alright.
you would have been really hyped to see us fight this thing, but no.
Yeah, no, you just
Fuck
move
that.
straight past it.
We're gonna pay for this at some point in the
The
future.
worm
Right
and
now,
its
no.
wormlings snap at you as you move past, desperately trying to get you, but you just zoom down the tunnel in gaseous form, and the wormlings lash out with their pincers. The young purple worm takes a bite with its huge maw, trying to get you, but it's unable
I'm so
to.
sorry. I'm
You
so sorry,
passed
Dale.
I
Through.
felt bad because it was my spell.
That's okay. You
I like
pass.
cut half of it.
Pass through the tunnel, and you hear the rumbling growing weaker and weaker and weaker. And after a few minutes of just solid sprinting in gaseous form through the tunnels, the rumbling ceases.
Yeah.
You feel confident that you have lost the worms. Okay. Now that you are free from the worms and once again alone in the twisting tunnel, what would you like to do?
Can we turn back once we know it's actually safe?
You can't hear them anymore.
What do you guys think? Should we turn back to normal now, or
Yeah, I feel like we'll need to go back to normal in order to.
Interact with the
Yeah.
heart of the wild, anyway.
I was gonna say the second we do that, you just have Bobbit just like on hands and knees panting, going, "Does anyone know what that thing was? Seriously, the one that crawled inside her arm was weird enough. What was that?"
Both Zinhorn and Bulb have heard whispers, have heard frightened tales of the great purple worms, big enough that they can crush an entire caravan asunder, and strong enough that they can swallow 30 men with a single gulp. You feel immense relief that somehow you were able to get past it without having to best the thing in combat.
I was gonna say, would they tell us that?
Yep.
Yeah, well, the second they tell us that, Bob's just gonna like bear hug Zinhorn, going, "His spell is the most amazing thing ever. Thank you so much."
And so you
Awful.
continue on, your hands held at your weapons, and every time you hear any sort of noise, whether it be one of the fleshy tentacles whipping through the air or dust falling from the roof, you all sort of jump, half expecting the purple worm and its brood to burst through the wall and swallow you in a single gulp. But nothing attacks you. You reach a large circular chamber. Most of the walls are covered in dead branches, brambles, and vines. In the center of the chamber is a column that appears to be a gigantic 30-foot tree root, winding up from the floor into the ceiling. An opening in the center of the root contains a small, reddish circular disc. Tiny flecks of gold light shine from the disc's surface. This must be the object that was taken from the tree in the Feywild. By Joe
Zinhorn wants to be sure,
Yep.
and that it's like the actual thing and not a trap or anything.
Yep.
So is going to use his Fey Touch Identify.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Standing in the mouth of the cavern, you use your Fey-touched spell, Identify. You identify this gold disc immediately as what was once an ordinary gold coin that was enchanted by the Obonashi clan to hold the essence of the heart of the wild. This is indeed the object that you seek. And in fact, as you reveal this to the rest of the party, you can feel the magic emanating from this disc, filling the chamber, although the stench of death and decay and the overbearing feeling of the corrupting magic still permeates. You can feel almost like a window has been opened in a stuffy room, a tiny wisp of the heart's true power of goodness eating away at the corruption in the cavern. What would you like to do?
Well, we found it.
Yay!
You're gonna just approach it.
How do we get to it?
All you have to do is walk up to it. As for removing it from the tree, you don't know that, but
Can I do an Arcana check to...
you can make an Arcana check.
This is identifying something magical, so that's advantage. That's a 24.
You can tell, just from staring at the mouth of the cave, that the coin holding the Daijobi Senga is not simply inserted into the giant tree root. Rather, the small reddish gold disc appears to be fused into the tree root itself. It is quite obvious that this cavern and everything with it is magically linked to the disc, almost as if it's feeding off it.
Well, definitely pass along to everyone else. Doesn't answer how we're going to get it out, but, you know, it's something.
I could dispel magic.
You could go ahead, try to cast a spell magic, see what that does. That might work.
Actually, I will cast detect magic
Yep.
using my Furbolg magic.
Yep. So you cast Detect Magic, and the cavern lights up in a series of vibrant auras. There is magic emanating from the Daijobi Senga. You see a very, very slight tinge of enchantment magic, perhaps the one kernel of what's left of the Daijobi Senga, intermixing with a shroud of necromantic energy. This is presumably what has corrupted these caverns and this great tree and leaks out into the jungles above. But, perhaps most curious at all, about 30 feet in front of the great root, there is a small cloud of illusion magic about the size and height of a human figure.
I
Dumb bitch.
am going to say get ready to the others.
Bold, but also like you to make a perception check.
With my disadvantage, that is 14.
Also notice, almost like a cord, a black tendril of necromantic energy linking the humanoid shape to the disc. You may make an Arcana check to try to identify this if you like, or point it out to Bobbit, who can do the same.
I'm going to attempt to first, and then I'll see what happens.
Or Bob does that. He's going. Zinhorn's going to cast guidance.
Yep, to add to the.
What does that add? Sorry.
Gives you a D4, which you can use before or after your ability check.
Okay, so I'm going to add the D4, which gives me 13.
13. You identify it as a particularly strong form of necromantic magic, but don't know exactly what it is.
I'm going to lean down to Bobbit and go, there's someone using illusion magic to hide from us, but they are connected by necromantic magic to the how do I pronounce it?
To the Daijobi Senga.
Daijobi Senga. I can identify it as very strong necromantic energy, but I don't know what it's doing. Is there any way that you could feel it and determine what it is? And I've whispered that to Bobbit.
Alright, Bobbit.
That'd be an Arcana check or something else. Actually, I'm going to use one of my Artificer spell slots to... using Detect Magic tell anything while I need an actual
No,
Arcana
Detect
check?
Magic's already been cast.
Okay,
Yours
so
is
Well,
Arcana
Detect-
check then?
Well, only I can see these magics.
Yeah, okay, yeah. If you cast
Yeah.
Detect Magic, you'll see what I described to Bulb, and this will give
Okay,
you
and
some
then
advantage.
I can do it.
An advantage
Okay,
in
so
Arcana
yes.
check.
I'll use an Artificer spell slot to Detect Magic as well.
Yep, and you see the cavern light up in vibrant colours just as Bulb did. You see the
So I can...
You see the shroud of illusion magic in the middle of the room, 30 feet in front of the root, someone hiding there, waiting for you. You see the black cord that links that figure to the Daijobi Senga. Make an Arcana check with advantage, please.
That's well to hear. And there's a nat 20, so that's going to be a 32.
Bobbit, you recognize it instantly, and your heart sinks. So much for purifying the Daijobi Senga. That necromantic cord is what links a lich to their phylactery.
Oh no.
Fucking liches.
I was gonna say, yeah, you see Bobbit's eyes just go fucking wide and you just see her mouth the word lich.
I am going to once again say get ready, and I'm going to cast a spell magic at 6th level on the link.
Yeah, the second he sees that, Bobbit's instinctively gonna go into a were-tiger form, because fuck this.
Very well, I'd like you to roll for initiative, please.
As soon as I would have said get ready, I would have reactivated the shield.
Yep.
11.
11.
21.
21.
Yeah.
Zinhorn.
I
What is with my initiative rolls?
What the hell?
Something
My
about
last
this
three-
place.
My last 3 initiative rolls have been a 2, a 4, and now a 3.
Oh my god.
That's pretty.
I mean,
yeah.
It's nice to be up front for a change, but what the hell, man?
I don't know, but that gives me an 11.
11.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't know whether a 6th level is going to break a lich's link, but I'm trying.
As you cast Dispel Magic, suddenly the Lich, Kolate, reveals himself wearing a long, flowing green robe. His skin long ago melted away, leaving nothing but a skull and bones, his eyes glowing yellow. He raises his hand, uses his reaction to cast Counterspell.
Can Bobbit use hers to do the same?
Indeed, she can.
So fuck you, just counterspell the counterspell.
You counterspell his counterspell. Okay. Suddenly, you see the black cord sever. The phylactery is not destroyed, but you have prevented Kolate from regaining HP each round.
Oh, thank God.
That's a positive.
That's gonna be massively helpful.
I count a 6th level spell slot as worthy of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kolate smiles a bony grin. He rises off the ground, his robe flowing in an invisible wind. He reaches out one hand and another, raises them, and then you see from under the roots of the tree 2 spawns of Caius crawling out, worms already dropping from their mouths. Kolate smiles at you and he says, "The Daijobi Senga gives me immortality and allows me to control, to weave this place into my own realm. My former master failed in his pursuit pursuit of Mezro, but where he fails, I shall succeed. Oh, I shall show up at Rasnasi. You,
Oh, god damn it!
you, servants of Rasnasi, I can sense his power within you. My master comes to reclaim what he feels his former apprentice owes. Know that I will not let you have it. Die well. Bobbit,
Wait,
you
is
are
he
up
suggesting-
first.
I was gonna say, is he suggesting that Rastassi isn't dead?
Well,
I mean, apart from obviously, yes, apart from the bleeding obvious of Bobbit, but
He's also been down here for like 200 years, so
yeah, okay. Just very angry were yeah, if we weren't already on edge with the whole turning into a were tiger thing. Now just angry. Let's see. How far is 40 feet? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Bobbit would like to move roughly to about here.
yep.
Which
Rush
would
up
put
to the front of the great tree root.
yeah, and basically would like to throw a flame wave that in a 40-foot cone, which should hit
Hit all three.
all three of these
Yes.
guys. So I need all three of them to make dex saves.
Okay, so let's see. The spawns of Pius both failed.
Good.
Kolate passed.
What did he get?
He passed with a 19.
Yep, that is definitely a pass. I just like to check numbers. That's right. And flame wave is going to be, well, weak ones are going to get 78. Pilates is going to get half of whatever I roll, so half a second.
I swear to God, if you set the tree that we're currently inside on fire.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
Oh,
well, here we
I
go.
realised that.
I did not think that through. Oh well.
Go ahead, roll the damage.
Well, that's 33 for the two minions, and then I'd say 16 for Kolate. However,
Yep.
the two minions are pushed back 20 feet as a
They
result.
And then Kolate takes 16, bringing...
Let me just check. Actually, no, it does not say that it sets anything on fire.
No,
so we're
it
good
doesn't.
there.
They're
No,
pushed
if I was
back.
using like burning hands or fireball,
then
yes,
Yep.
we'd be fucked. Or firebolt, yes, we'd be in trouble. That one does not.
Okay, so at the end of your turn, Kolate uses a legendary action to cast.
Did we move the two zombie things
Yeah, I
back?
moved him back. He casts Chill Touch on you. He's going to roll to hit you. That is a 22.
Of course.
Okay, that is 13 points of necrotic damage that Bobbit takes.
Hey, wait, quick question. Is he considered undead?
He's a lich.
Then he needs to make a wisdom save before even trying to hit
yes,
me.
he does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He got a 12, so he didn't pass, so
He
he's going to
failed.
instead redirect that Chill Touch to... he's going to redirect it to Massacre,
Ah, crap.
hitting her for 13 points of necrotic damage, and she has disadvantage on attack rolls against him until his next turn.
Sorry.
Okay, it is Bulb's turn.
Oh, wow, okay.
Oh,
Um,
can I have Keeper move up with me as
yeah.
well?
Oh, you
Because
want
he was supposed to move as
5,
well.
10, 15, 20, he stands beside you, and he just looks at
Yep.
the floating lich and groans in rage.
Yeah.
I am going to bonus action Wild Shape,
Yep.
giving me 36 temporary hit points, which I'm going to need. And for my action, I'm going to cast Moonbeam at 5th level.
Yep.
Oh, hell yes.
So he needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yep, so you're going to cast it at Kolate.
Yes, at Kolate, yes.
He got a
So
19.
So he passes, that's fine, but he still takes half damage.
Yep.
A silvery beam of pale light shines down in a 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder centered on a point within range. So yeah, he gets hit. So that is 5, 5d10. 5d10. That was a decent roll. What's half of 37? 18.
Yeah.
18.
So he takes 18 radiant damage.
Yep. Lovely.
He's not a shape changer.
Nope.
And then I'm going to. There's nowhere to run behind, is there?
No, it's a big open.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm just gonna stay where I am and try to keep focus.
Yep. Okay, so at the end of your turn, he extends his hands and he uses his disrupt life action. So I need 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I need everybody to please make a con save. As he expels necromantic energy from his body, his robes billowing in the dark wind.
18.
Oh. I've gained proficiency in Constitution saving throws, and I now get bonus equal to my Wisdom modifier because of my Thorn shape.
Yep.
That's nice.
Plus
I got
7
an
plus 5.
unnatural 20.
Okay. 7 plus 5. Okay, so
14. I got 19.
19. Okay, so you all pass except for Messica.
Ah, Jesus.
So Messica
Not very
takes
Messica.
20 points of necrotic damage. The rest of them take 10. And out of the cloud of necromantic energy, step 3 whites.
Ah, damn it.
Their black rusted armor. Their black rusted armor gleaming in the pale red light as they draw their weapons and begin to walk towards you, but on a different initiative count. It is now the enemy's turn. The first, Spawn of Caius 1 runs forwards. 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Opens its mouth and releases a worm that slithers towards Bobbit. Bobbit, make a dex save, please.
Really not a fan of these stupid things. 17.
17. You stomp on the worm as it... Actually, no, that's 18, sorry. It's 17.
Ah.
Yeah. The worm, distracted by the lich in front of you, still reeling from the wave of dark energy he sent out. You're unable to stop the worm from leaping up onto your arm and burrowing into your skin. You take
I'm
1
sure this
point of
thing's gonna-
piercing damage.
I'm sure this thing's gonna absolutely adore Were-Tiger blood.
Spawn of Caius 2 rushes forwards. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It opens its mouth and releases another worm that it sends towards Bobbit. Bobbit, please make a dex save.
No, pick somebody else. You can't. Wait. Would these be? No, this doesn't wouldn't block the whole amongst the dead thing, would it?
No.
That's not an attack or a
It's not
spell.
directly attacking.
God damn it. Okay, that one's better. That one's 21.
21. You stomp on the worm as the first one still squirms under your skin.
Yeah, I know. Borrowed time now.
It is Kalate's turn. He moves forward 10 feet, hovering along the ground, and then raises his finger and points it towards Zinhorn, casting Finger of Death. Zinhorn, please make a con save.
That is an 18 plus 4? 4 or 5?
18 plus 4. Okay, so
18 plus 5, so 23.
23. So you take half this damage. You take 60 points of necrotic damage.
Holy
As a beam of energy flies from his finger, hitting you, filling your body with pain.
dear God, that would have killed me.
That was a and
That would have killed me
Yeah.
if I didn't.
So here's the thing: if the Finger of Death kills you, you don't make a death save. You just instantly
You're
die.
just dead.
Yeah, that's
And
not
you
Yeah.
come back as a zombie at your next turn. So,
Oh God.
so yeah, your con save allowed you to resist that.
Yeah, that's a word for it.
Okay.
Oh, I fucking hate liches.
It is now Sir Lucian's turn. He's going to rush right up to spawn of Caius 2. He's going to swing with his sword. That is 3 hits. 3d8 plus 18. It's 26 points of damage. And then he's going to add a precision attack and deal an extra 10 points of damage. So 36 points of damage to spawn of Caius 2.
Did what's his fucking name? Did Kolate do his wave of darkness before or after I attacked him?
He did it after you attacked him.
When he started his turn, he should have made another con save. I forgot about that.
Well, when he did his wave of darkness, that was a legendary action. The finger of he has to do that now though, because it is his action.
Yes, the finger of death, right? Yes. He needs to make another. So he saves, but he still needs to take half damage. So I'll roll it
go
again.
ahead and roll it.
Sorry, that's my bad for not hearing that it was his turn. 33, so that is 16 damage, radiant damage.
Okay. So Lucian strikes the spawn of Caius. It falls to its feet and then scrambles back up, barely alive. It is Messica's turn. She rushes forwards, does her fainting attack on spawn of Caius 1, and then takes advantage of the opening, goes in and rolls with advantage to hit with her rapier. 14. That is a non-natural 20. She deals 8 points of damage plus her sneak attack for 14 points of damage, 22 altogether. And then she goes in with her next rapier attack. She rolls a non-natural 25 and deals 10 points of damage to it. It is now Zinhorn's turn.
Okay, so Zinhorn is going to firstly summon an air elemental.
Yep. Grab that.
Using my last 4th level spell.
Yep. Summon air elemental.
And then is going to, since I haven't used any wild shape, is going to turn himself into an air elemental. And attempt to merge.
Yep. Zoom into the air elemental, the 2 clouds of wind entangling. Make an Arcana check, please.
That's better. That's a 17 plus 4 is 21.
Very well. You merge together into a greater wind element, air elemental.
Alright, so if I'm reading this correctly, got a tornado ability that elemental magically transforms into a violent tornado and moves up to half its flying speed. So its flying speed's 90, so it can move 45.
Yep.
In a straight line.
Towards Kolate.
And so what I want to do is go towards sort of more in this sort of direction.
Oh, yep, through the whites and the spawn as well. Yep.
Yeah, so it just goes that way, 45 feet.
Yep.
And targets each creature in its space it enters. So all of them have to do a strength save.
Very well. Very well. Do that. Whites. Okay, so the whites, we've got 20, a 10, and a 17. And for the spawn of Caius, we have a 7.
So the 10 and the 7 fail.
Yep.
And the 17 and you said 17 and 20?
Yep.
They succeed. So they so the ones that fail take 5d8 plus 4 bludgeoning and are flung 30 feet away from the elemental in a random direction and knocked prone.
So how much damage was that?
So 5d8. Let's have a look, see? That is 7 plus 7 is 14, plus 4 is 18, plus 2 is 20, plus 2 is 22, plus 4 is 26 points of damage.
So the violent winds tear Spawn of Caius 2 apart and buffet White 1, flinging him over to the other side of the route.
If a thrown target strikes an object such as a wall or floor, takes an additional 1d6 bludgeoning.
Yep, go ahead and roll that, please.
Or every 10 feet it was thrown.
Ooh.
So how far was it thrown before it was hit?
Thrown 5, 10, 20 feet.
20 feet, so that's 2d6 is another 10 points of bludgeoning.
Oh, nice.
If a target's thrown against another creature, must no, so it wasn't done that.
Nope.
Or take this.
That was a nice.
If the saving throw is successful, the target takes half the bludgeoning.
Yep. So they each take 13.
And is not flown anywhere.
Yep. So they each take 13.
And then it goes back into the normal huge form, out of tornado form.
Yep. Okay. At the
Yeah,
end,
that was fun.
That was fun. At the end of your turn, Kolate raises a hand and casts his Chilling Touch cantrip upon the huge air elemental. That is a nat 20.
Of course.
God.
So he is going to... Let us see. That is 24 points of necrotic damage that you take, and you have disadvantage on your next attack roll against him.
Okay.
It is Bobbit's turn. Actually, no, it's
Okay.
White's turn, sorry.
24 points of damage.
So White's 2 and 3 rush forwards to attack the air elemental. That is an 8 and a 20 from the first one.
So the huge air elemental is a 16 plus 2 for my shield.
Yep, so the 20 hits you, but the 8 does not.
18 to...
You take 11 points of slashing damage, and then the second one raises his sword and goes in.
35.
He holds out an emaciated hand and attempts to use his life drain attack on you. That is a 19, that is a hit.
Yep.
You take 5 points of necrotic damage, and you must make a con save, DC 13.
That is a 15 plus 4, so 19.
Yep, that is fine. He then swings his sword at you and rolls a nat 1, so he doesn't hit you.
So I'm taking 40 points of damage in this form.
Meanwhile, White 1 runs forwards, 5, 10, 15, 20, standing between Messica and Bobbit. Goes in for a life drain attack, that is a non-natural 20.
Who's it attacking?
Bobbit.
Is a white considered undead?
It is. In fact, I
Then-
rolled its whiz and it passed with an unnatural 20.
No, fair.
So, you take 6 points of necrotic damage, and you must make a con save, please.
Okay, let's see. That. Con save. That is 19.
19, you pass. It then hits you with its long sword. That is another unnatural 20. You take...
Actually,
Yep.
wait. Damn it, even with mage armor, that only goes up to 20. Bastard!
Well, you take 4 points of slashing damage, reduced because of your lycanthrope form.
Annoyed.
It is now Bobbit's turn.
Okay, well, Bobbit's immediately going to instruct, or basically growl at Keeper to help Messica, because she's clearly in trouble. Now...
Oh, and Bobbit, at the start of your turn, you take
I am
8 points of necrotic damage from the worm that still squirms in your insides.
Okay, that's gonna get annoying. I can see what it is on my...
You
on
can.
me, right?
You'll have to do a medicine check to safely remove it, or you could just cut it out, but you'll risk damaging yourself.
Yeah. Alright, well, I think on that one. How far off the ground is Kolate actually...
He's hovering about 20 feet above the ground.
20 feet above the ground. Okay. Just gonna go for multiple dumb ideas right now, because technically in my current form I actually do have a multi-attack. could I try and use one of my claws to get this worm out of my arm?
Yes, you can.
Stupid idea, but
Make a medicine check, just to see if you can do it safely.
okay. Well, this ought to be fun. 16.
16.
15.
You pass.
Fun.
You dig your
fun.
claws into your arm where you see the bulge and pull. You feel the pain as you strip some of your flesh away, but you see the white grub inside. You lift it out and crush it in your muscled hands, and that is your turn.
Wait, wouldn't that only count as like
Counts
one
as
thing?
an action to get the worm out.
God,
You
Oh,
have a
okay,
bonus
well,
action. You can do something
I
with
do,
that.
but I do, but technically I was gonna try and use it to do something to help attack Kolate.
Oh,
'cause
next round.
I need.
Next.
God damn it!
Or do you want to
Yeah,
take
well-
that back and not remove the worm?
Mm. Depends. If I use like an attack on myself to get it out, I know yes I'll take some minor damage, but at least it'll only be 1 round if it works. And then I'd still have my second attack to do something,
to
yeah?
attack with. Yes, you can do that.
Okay, so how would that work if I'm just
So
using
just
my claw?
instantly roll the damage on an attack on yourself.
So with claws, where do I really put it? Where the hell is that? I do have it. Yes. Thought I had it. That was it. Much apologies, I can't seem to find the actual note I had
I'll
on
look it
using
up.
claws.
Where?
Natural weapons are based on strength, is all I've got.
Yep. So
that's
for
just-
your claw, it's 1d8 plus strength. Mod.
Please let me roll low. Oh, thank God, that's a 1. I mean, it's still
Yep.
going to be 5 damage,
You
but
rip
still.
the
bad.
bulgy bit of flesh away, crush the worm, and now you have your extra attack.
Just reduce the. Yep. Okay, can I use my. Now, I can use a bonus action in the middle of my
You can, yes.
attack. Good. In that case, I am going to cast Fast Step on myself.
Yep.
And
Allowing you to
I
reach
can
him?
teleport 60. No. I want to teleport above him.
Ooh.
At least 15 feet above him.
Yep.
Because if I move 15 feet before attacking somebody on the same
Yeah, you get
turn,
pounce, that's
I can
right.
use the pounce ability, because I want to drag this bastard to the actual ground.
Leap into the air, disappearing and re-emerging on top of Kolate, pouncing towards him 15 feet down. You may go ahead and roll a
Yeah.
pounce.
I'm going to be going... No, well, I got to hit him with a melee attack. So
Yeah, you got
that
him with a
should
melee
be-
attack.
Okay. Does that count as a weapon or just a straight-up melee attack?
You have to hit him with
Yeah,
a bite or a claw.
Okay. That would just be with... Is that with proficiency plus strength?
Yeah, your
Yes,
proficiency
that's
in
possible.
your natural weapons.
Okay. 23 to hit.
That is a hit.
Okay, cool. So it's only a D8 plus
D8
strength.
plus
Yeah, well,
your strength. Yep.
yeah, that's only going to be 6 points of damage. However, he needs to pass on a DC 16 strength throw or will be knocked
See
prone.
how he goes. He got a 13, but he's going to choose to pass.
Of course. So he's not knocked prone. Damn. Well,
Yeah. You nearly pin him to the ground, but he uses magic to push himself away from you and rights himself, still hovering above the floor. And then,
okay. Well, Keeper can go smash white 1 to try and
Yep.
help out.
then at the end of your turn, he's going to roll a wisdom save with a nat 20, and
Of
he's
course.
going to cast Chill Touch at you. That is a 14,
Okay.
so he misses you.
Yep.
It is Keeper's turn. Keeper shuffles towards white number 1, flailing his fists. That is a miss on the first, but a hit on the second. He deals 17 points of damage to white 1, crushing its face in and killing it.
Oh, thank God.
It
That's
is
helpful.
now Bulb's turn.
Can he use
Yep.
the rest of his movement
He can.
to
Would you like him
go
to
up to
move?
the? I'd like him to move next to the spawn of
Caius,
Caius,
yep. He
yeah,
can.
Caius,
He
to
is
try
now
and
flanking it.
just to try and help Messica.
Yep, backing Messica up. Okay, it is Bulb's turn.
Oh, sorry. Did Bobbit succeed in dragging him to the ground?
No.
Unfortunately, no. He chose. He basically bullshit rule chose to pass.
Yep. Is he still in the moonlight, or did he move?
He moved. Bobbit.
Okay, well,
Bobbit's
bonus action, move the moonlight onto him.
Yep.
So he has to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yep, he's going to make his con save. That is a 22.
Fuck's sake.
Whatever. 5d10. Another fucking 34, so that's 17
Nice.
radiant damage. So that was the bonus action. I need to look up the wording of a spell. Cube. Is he still within 20 feet of the ground?
He is, yes.
And is Bobbit currently on him or next to him?
Bobbit's next to him. Bobbit's actually on the ground because Bobbit can't fly.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So, 20-foot cube, 20-foot cube, 20-foot cube. Is a 20-foot cube this?
Yes, that is a 20.
And 20 feet up?
Yes.
So, if I was to cast Erupting Earth...
Yep, you would hit him.
Yes, I'm going to cast Erupting Earth at 4th level. So he now needs to make a Dexterity saving throw.
Yep, let's see. That is an 18.
God damn, it's so close. That's still a pass, but that is 4, 12, 22, 11 points of magical damage.
Nice. You're lucky he's not recovering HP, because you actually have him quite low now.
Yes, and I've decided I'm just going to focus on him while everyone else focuses on the ads. Well, except for Bobbit, who's trying to also pick it up.
Yep.
Bobbit has a bone to pick with this dead bastard.
Yeah, it's fair.
At the end of your turn, he casts Chill Touch on the huge air elemental.
Again?
18. That is
not a hit because of my
We're lucky because of your shield. Your shield
shield.
swoops in front and deflects the blow. It is now Kolate's turn.
That's his turn. He needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
He's going to make a con save. That is a 7. He's going to choose to pass.
That's fine. I still got to roll. That's okay. We've now used 2 of his things.
Yeah, resistance.
That's true.
We don't know how many he has, but we've used 2 of them.
Usually it's 3,
Yeah,
sometimes 4.
I was gonna say 3 or 4, but I didn't want to metagame. But
Yeah.
So 27.
that's
What's
13.
13? Yeah. So 13
Nice.
radiant damage. Still doing damage to him.
Nice.
Yeah, it's consistent. That's the point.
He laughs. And he casts Circle of Death. And he is going to put it... He's going to put the Circle of Death here, so that the 60-foot radius extends out.
Yeah, no, he's not. I'm just going to counterspell that with my last spell slot.
And he's going to use... Okay, so first of all, it's a 6th level spell. So, let me just look this up.
I'm pretty sure I can make a roll on that one.
Yes, you need to make an ability check with your spell casting ability. The DC is 16.
Okay, so that's obviously charisma. And that's 13 plus 5, so that's 18.
18, okay. He uses his reaction to counterspell your counterspell.
Yeah, well, I'm making him burn spell slots, but...
You are, and his reaction too.
I know, but I'm scared shitless of how much damage this is going to do.
So I need Bulb, Zinhorn, Messica, Bulb... I need Bulb and Zinhorn to please make Constitution saves. So Lucian, Messica, and Keeper will also make them.
Constitution.
28. I
Nice.
love the last feat that I took.
Yeah, that's some handy shit.
Now
That
let's see what go.
is a 19.
19. Okay. Alright, so Zinhorn and Bulb and Sir Lucian each take 32 points of necrotic damage.
It's like a...
Messica takes 64. She goes down as making her first death save, which she passes. And Keeper also takes 32.
Does Keeper take damage from... Hold on a sec.
Does he take necrotic? Let me check.
Un momento, por favor, señor.
No, he
Be right back, sorry.
takes necrotic.
Survey says damage... lightning. Ah,
Yeah.
damn, no.
Takes necrotic, so he's down 32 points.
Mm,
And
still
then,
got decent left, but...
as a bonus action, Kolate will try to use his Noxious Touch on Bobbit. He reaches out a bony hand. That is a 25 to hit.
It hits.
So, Bobbit, I need you to make a con save, please.
Okay. Shit, that's only a 12.
12, okay.
Actually,
Bobbit.
wait, no, I get advantage because I have magic resistance, so...
Yes.
Oh, and that's a nat 20.
Okay, so Bobbit, you take 14 points of necrotic damage, and he recovers 14 hit points.
Oh, you piece of shit.
Laughing. It is
thank you.
Sir Lucian's turn. He rushes over to Spawn of Caius 1 to try and save Messica, drawing his sword. He hits it 3 times. That is 34 points of damage. He lops off its head. It is Messica's turn. She rolls and fails her first death save, so she's failed 1 past 1. It is now Bulb's... No, wait, it's been Bulb's turn. It's now the White's turn. They're making 2 attacks on the big air elemental. Neither of them hit. It is Zinhorn's turn.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll, see if I get my tornado back.
Yep. And at
That
the
is
start of your turn, I'd like you to make a con save, please, to hold the huge air elemental together.
Sorry.
That is a 13 plus my con, which is a 5, so 18.
18, yep, you hold it together. So now you can see if you recharge your tornado.
I rolled a 3, so I do not hold. No, I don't regain it.
Yep.
So in that case, Xenon's going to look at these 2 things that are swinging and attempting to hit it.
Yep.
And going to go with a double slam attack.
Double slam attack. Nice.
Whichever one looks the most injured, going to go for them first.
Yep. So 2 looks the most injured.
That is a 19 to hit.
That's a hit.
Oops. And 3d8 is, oh, that's not 4, 6, 7 plus 6 is 13 points of damage.
Use the violent winds to tear white number 2 apart.
So then going to go for the other one.
Yep.
And that's an 18 plus 10, so 28.
18 plus 10, 28. That's a hit.
And that one was a little better. That's 11 plus 6 is 17.
17. Nice. You use your winds to tear white number 3 apart. At the end of your turn, Kolate uses a legendary action. He snaps out a hand and tries to use his Noxious Touch on Bobbit again. That is a 25 to hit once again. Bobbit, make a con save, please.
Yes. That's an 18.
18, very well. Bobbit, you take 9 points of necrotic damage and he recovers 9 hit points. It is now Bobbit's turn.
Okay, does anyone go before Kolate? Or did anyone apart from me?
After you, there is Bulb.
Okay. I don't suppose Bulb wants to try and save Messica.
I don't know.
He can if you yell out and ask him to help.
Yep.
Yeah, there's just gonna be a very loud roar from wherever Bobbit is. Just go, save her! I'm hitting him! And Bobbit is gonna take up her lovely stuff of striking and try to basically wail on him and try and get the help. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so the first attack is 19 plus 11.
11.
19 plus 11, so it's
19
30.
plus 11. Yeah, that definitely hits, and even shield won't do anything.
Good. He is going to take 12 points of bludgeoning, and I'm going to use 3 charges from my staff to deal an extra. I think it's 3d6 of force damage.
It is, yes.
Yes, so I just like to check to make sure. Yes. So I'll take an extra 3d6. So that's 5, 7, 13 points of force damage.
Nice.
And then I'm going to go in with my second attack.
Yep.
That's going to be 23 to hit.
He uses his reaction to cast shield, and your staff bounces off the magic board.
No! Damn it. Hey, goddamn liches.
At the end of your turn, he raises his hands. His cloak begins to billow once again in a dark wind, and he uses his disrupt life. I need everyone to make a con save, please.
19.
19.
14 plus 5.
29.
29. Bobbit.
19.
19. Okay, so Lucian also passes. Okay, so you all take 18 points of necrotic damage, including Keeper. You hear Messica choke as the life is choked out of her.
Ah, damn it! No!
It is now Bulb's turn.
Right. Well, seeing as that is now gone, I'm going to use my bonus action to move the moonbeam off and on him again.
Yep, causing him to make a con save,
Yep.
which he chooses to pass, having only rolled 14. That's his final reaction. That's his final legendary resistance gone, by the way.
12 points of radiant damage.
Yep.
What spell slots do I have left? Oh, pardon me. Oh, pardon me again. Jesus. And then I'm going to spend another 4th level to Erupting Earth again.
Ooh, what does he have to roll for that?
Dex save again.
Dex save. That is a 20, non-natural.
Of course, but he still takes half damage, so that's
Yep.
4d12. 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. Lovely. Okay, it is now his turn. He has to roll con. That is that is a 19.
Okay, so now I'm going to do another 5d10.
Just fails something,
Come
you
on.
piece of shit.
Oh god, that could have been better. That's 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage, leaving him with 2 HP.
You cunt.
I hate this stupid thing.
Well, okay. He laughs.
I want to go back and figure out how much damage I've done to him.
Yep.
And also, I have been rolling concentration checks too.
Yes.
So,
Well, he's out of legendary action, so it just goes straight to his turn.
yeah.
He's laughing, but you notice his eyes are flickering as he's falling weak. And he is going to cast... he's going to cast Blight on Bobbit. I need Bobbit to please make a con save.
Has he been doing wisdom checks every time he goes to do anything against
Yes,
me?
he's passed his wisdom check to hit you with this blight. That's why he's able to do it.
So what am I rolling?
Con save.
Piss off and leave me alone. I fucking hate you. It's a 19.
19. Okay, you take. Let me count this up. 12d8. He's casting it at 7th level.
Oh, I'm gonna die.
You take. Okay, and you pass your save, so you take half as much.
I'm probably gonna die.
You take 29 points of necrotic damage.
Oh my god.
Still up?
Yep.
And then he's going to use his bonus action to use his Noxious Touch on you. Rolling a non-natural 23. Make a con save, please.
I don't think it matters, but sure. Well, that's an 18.
18. Okay, you take 13 points of necrotic damage.
Joke's on you, dipshit. I only have 4 HP, so that's
He
all you get.
recovers 4 HP, putting him on 6.
Fuck, I hate you. Well, time for making death saves.
Yep, make a death save, please.
That's a nat 20, and you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna use my
Yeah, you're back up.
yeah, my backup. Do I get extra health for rolling a nat 20? I'm guessing no. That would be fun if I could.
No, you don't. You just get back
Okay,
up.
yeah, get down and just drag myself up and going. Seriously think that's gonna be enough to kill me?
I didn't hear no bell. You know whose turn it is now? It's Sir Lucian's turn.
Baby. Fucking Christ, of course!
Runs forwards,
I swear to God!
raises his hand axe, and nat ones, and then misses both the times.
Oh my God. Honestly, I don't know what's scary at this point.
Because Kolate uses his reaction to cast Shield, which deflects the second two.
He's gonna be getting close to running out of fucking spell slots by now.
It is now Zinhorn's turn.
Okay. Firstly, roll con. That's a unnatural 20.
Yep, so you managed to hold the huge elemental together.
And then going to get that's a. What do I roll? D6, and it is a 4, which it does recharge. Yes.
Good.
And Elemental's just going to tornado and just
Yep.
be like that menacing tornado him.
Yep, alright. He's going to make a strength save. That is a 9. He cannot choose to pass.
So he fails it, which means he takes 5d8.
I'm almost said I don't get a chance to say anything to him.
There's a
before
chance
he
he
gets
may
destroyed.
survive this because he could roll
Oh,
one
I'm
on
sure
all
he
those
could.
d8s and be left with 1 HP.
Yeah, 6 and 6 is 12, and 3
Yep.
is 15, and 2 is 17, and 1 is 18, and 4 is 22.
Yeah.
And then he's thrown and does more damage if he hits a wall. And
Yep.
Do I get-
Kolate screams as you fling him through the air.
Do I
Ah!
say anything before he goes?
Yep.
Just for flavor. Yeah, as the lovely swirling vortex of death is about to envelop him, Bobbitt's just gonna look and go, guess what? You failed, just like your master did. Please tell him I'll say hi when I come visit him in hell.
His skeletal mouth falls open in surprise as Zinhorn's winds fling him from his spot. He flies towards the wall of the cavern, hits it, and you see a crack strike down his skull, cleaving it in two. The cavern is filled with his scream, "Ah!" as his body dissolves into a pile of ash before it even hits the ground.
hooray!
However, there is the matter of the phylactery.
Oh, that's right. It's the heart of the friggin'. Or is it just the coin?
It's a coin,
Coin.
but the coin contains the Daijobi Senga.
Well, Bobbitt's immediately going to teleport over because Fast Step's still up for her. Teleport over to Massacre and then yell for anyone that has any sort of. Please tell me somebody in the party has Revivify. Somebody can fix this, right?
No.
I don't like that. Don't like that awkward
Anyone?
silence.
I mean, if you give me 8 hours,
But she's dead now.
yep.
I don't have reincarnate even prepared, so I'd have to have a long rest before I could reincarnate.
Same. And we can't get Revivify unless we're
Didn't we have
wildfire.
a thing of? Did we get a thing of Revivify, or was it a scroll? Or was it a scroll of?
It was a greater restoration.
Yeah.
That's right.
So Bobbit's just fallen over Messica's body, weeping as
It's just
the-
a very sad tiger.
as you see the reddish disc in the tree begin to pulsate with dark energy as Kolate already begins the process of reforming. You have to act
Good
fast.
Wait, wouldn't it take him several days to reform?
Yep.
Okay, dumb
but
question. Would remove curse do it? With the Arcana checks I've done, would I know if remove curse would do anything to phylactery?
a bit more will be required.
Dispel at level 4.
Spell magic at level 4.
I believe I need to roll if it's higher.
Yep. I would like you to please roll. The DC will be 19.
And what am I exactly rolling?
You're rolling your spellcasting ability.
So that's a +5, so it's a 15 + 5.
Ooh,
That's 20.
Bulb, you step forwards, walk
Fucking hell.
towards the opening in the root of the tree, place your hand upon the disc, and cast a spell magic. Feel the magic surge through your hand, and then the disc glows a bright white glow, and the black wisps of necromantic energy emanating from it dissipate. It is no longer a phylactery. You have removed its connection to Kolate, while keeping the Daijobi Senga intact.
Cool. Is the bad magic still feeding into the tree?
You notice that there is still bad magic feeding out of it, but it is no longer working as a phylactery. However, you do reach out and you simply pull it off the tree root and it snaps off. And as you remove it, the feed of dark energy that's growing, shaping this cavern is cut off. Now rests solely in the disc in your hand. It is simply a matter of purifying it once again, and you hope that Zashala and her clan know how to do this.
It's a good thing with the fire spell because probably is pissed.
Bobbit, will you be bringing Messica's body with you?
Well, yes, and since I still have like a minute or so, how far could I get with fast step teleporting 60 feet every few seconds?
I'd like you to make an acrobatics check, please.
Yeah, because I'm guessing we have to go all the way back up the way we came.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no magical teleportation bullshit this time. So acrobatics, 15.
Okay. Zosala and the Obonashi rejoice when they see you emerging from the boughs of the Forsaken Tree, but then their faces fall as they notice Messica's limp body slung over your shoulder. Artus Climber bows his head, he reaches up and pulls his hood over his face as everyone grows quiet. Behind you, the massive trunk of the tree has already begun to change colour into dark, greyish brown. The vines and brambles have begun to thin and fall apart. So Charlotte hobbles forwards with her staff. She looks down at the dead form of Messica. With a grim look on her face, she points to the ground. What do you do?
I'm going to put her on the ground, although I am surprised that none of them are reacting to the fact that I'm still aware tired, because that lasts an hour.
They're probably more concerned with Messica at the moment.
Yeah, either way, we'll put her on the ground.
Place her on the ground and take a step back. Zasala looks up at you and she says, "You're lucky." A few seconds later, she places the tip of her gnarled staff on Messica's chest. The tip glows with magic, and then Messica's eyes shoot open. She sits bolt upright, gasping for breath.
Yep, big hug time.
You leap forwards, wrap your arms around her, and as you do, the rest of the party slowly emerge from underneath the forsaken tree. The dark greyish brown spreading through the trunk, turning what was once the heart of evil and corruption to just a normal tree. After returning to the Temple of the Rising Sun, the Obonashi perform the ritual to return the Heart of the Wild to its rightful place. So Shala tells you that though the spirit within the Daijobi Senga has been sanctified, it will take some time before its power can truly spread across Cholt again. She did, however, while communicating with the Eternal Spirit, confirm the existence of the great city of Mezro. She informs you that the city is sealed far away from the world, shielded from the corruption that has infected the lands of Cholt. She tells you that she believes that before Mezro can once again be as it was, Cholt must be cleansed. By restoring the Daijobi Senga, you have taken the first step, but there is still corruption within the jungles, and more must be done. Once this happens, perhaps even Ubtao may once again take pride in his people. Messica, after seeing the Daijobi Senga restored, bids the clan and the party farewell, bowing her head. She says, "Lady Alessander, I see that you no longer need me. I failed you against Kolate, yet you triumphed over him anyway. You have gained powers that I do not understand, that I could never imagine, and you have surpassed me in terms of power. You no longer need the protector." She looks at you, frowning. She says, "My mission is now clear." She tells you that she is determined to bring order back to Cholt, and hopes that someday both her home, Mezro, and her memories will return to her.
We could do that together, right?
She looks at you and she just nods and she says, "It is likely our paths will cross again as we seek the same goal. But for now there is something I must do on my own. My memories remain taken from me. This is my land, and even though I cannot defeat the likes of Kolate or Ruston Sea, there are still those out there who I do have the power to help. And so, I will take it upon myself to bring justice and order to those in Cholt who cannot fight for it themselves." She bows her head. "It's been a pleasure travelling with you, Lady Alessander. I'm sure we will meet again." And as she turns to make her way out of the main hall of the Temple of the Rising Sun, where the Daijobi Senga now sits, glowing above the font of water, lending the water a golden hue, making it look like liquid light, she looks over her shoulder and says, "And the rest of you, look after Alessander for me. I'm sure you will." been a pleasure to get to know each and every one of you.
Before she turns around and leaves, Zinhorn just does a druid craft, and you just see in her hair a golden flower just sort of appears in her hair.
She reaches up, feels the flower, then she smiles, turns away, and with a swish of her blue cloak is gone around the corner. You all level up.
Yay!
Zinhorn just looks over to Bobbit and crafts the same golden flower in Bobbit's hair.
Oh, I'm gonna kill Artis.
So now that Bobbit has a reminder of Massacre.
Artis just looks at Bobbit, grim-faced.
We're gonna
corners of his mouth twist into a smile, and he says, I know, there's a lot to talk about. I know you have bones to pick, but we did some good here. We've restored the heart of the wild. Cholt is ever so slightly closer to being
Before he finishes,
to its prior grace.
Before he finishes, another bang behind him.
Ah!
Oh no. Bobbit is just staring holes at this, but we'll talk on that next time. Right now, it's just a very angry glare.
This week's session. You have a month of downtime before next week's session. You level up, and you each gain a single inspiration point.
Oh!
Hooray!
Very nice.
I'm gonna kill him.
A level up and inspiration.
The Daijobi Senga glows again, and with it, the energy of the Feywild, the life that Ubtao breathed into the jungle, slowly returns to Cholt. There is more to be done, but this is a great triumph. And you are certain now, seeing the heart of the wild restore the vibrancy and life to the jungles around the Temple of the Rising Sun. You are certain that no matter what there is yet to be done, you are able to achieve it. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. Thank you for Kay for sticking by us through all of our technical difficulties.
All of our shenanigans.
I'm going to be sitting there in Streamlabs finding out what the hell is going on with why it's not detecting my headphones, so the next week we can be back to normal. But aside from that, I feel that it was a good session. You accomplished quite a bit. Escaped a purple worm.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yes, for the win.
Yeah.
And yes, destroying the Daijobi Senga was an option, but thankfully you didn't need to do that. So
no, you gotta keep the balance, man. You gotta do everything you can to keep the balance.
Points of inspiration came from.
Fair enough. Can I do the outro, please, this time, if that's okay?
Before,
all right,
I'll turn the floor over to you in a sec. Just once again, thank you to everyone for joining us. We will be back next week for more D&D. No vampire this week. That's next week. And until then,
fuck liches. Just fuck liches.
Indeed. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.